Hi, I'm Tom Brookshire.
And I'm Pat Summerall. Now that we're into the second half of the season, Tom, it might be a good time to try and analyze the top teams and see why they're on top.
Well, Pat, Miami 8-0 and Washington 7-1 are the two teams with the best records, and they do have several things in common. One is that it doesn't seem to matter much who's really the quarterback.
Both the Dolphins and Redskins have defensive units with a few big names, but they have virtually no weak points. They just both play great defense.
Well, they do. And on offense, they both seem to rely principally on their runners. And do they ever have the runners?
Do they ever? Larry Brown and Charlie Haraway and Butch in the Sundance and Mercury Morris down in Miami, they're just unbelievable.
They are.
A couple of weeks ago, the Buffalo Bills scared the seaweed out of the Dolphins by almost beating them. But last week in Buffalo, Miami proved to the Bills that although they are in the same division, they're not really in the same league.
They are tied for third with New England coming into today's game with a 2-5 record, but they really get up. Everybody does now for the Dolphins, the only unbeaten team left in the NFL.
This is Miami coach Don Shula, a man who is bidding to become the first ever to lead a team to victory in every game of its season. And Coach Shula is making his bid without his ace of trump, the injured Bob Greasy. Replacing Greasy at quarterback is the wily veteran Earl Morrall.
Dolphins will have Earl Morrall at quarterback. Zonka and Cook will be the running back. Howard Pulley lines up as the wide receiver to the far side. Doug Poussin and Norm Evans are the tackles. Marv Fleming, the tight end. Howard Pulley and Paul Warfield, the wide receivers. Bob Kuchenberg and Larry Little, the guards. Jim Langer, the center. Rick Weaver, Luke Creekmer, and Henry Barrow back at War Memorial Stadium in Buffalo, New York. The Dolphins looking for their 8th consecutive win on this season, their 9th in the last 2 years, and trying to give Don Shula his 99th career coaching victory. Bills are in blue jerseys with white pants and white headgear, and the Dolphins all in white. Alvin Wyatt, number 41, off to the far side, and Lindsey Cole, number 26, down the near side. Two speedsters as Garo Euphemian prepares to kick off. This ball game is about to get underway. Here's Garo forward. He gets the kick high with the wind behind him. It is not too deep. Grabbed by Wyatt. He fumbles the ball at the 2, still juggling it around. At the 5, he's caught, gets away. He is contained at about the 9-yard line. He could not find a handle on that one. And down to cover for the Dolphins was Charlie Babb from the Dolphins specialty team. And don't forget, before the conclusion of this ball game, we will have announced the selection of our Rick Weaver WIOD Special Teams Award winner for the Dolphins in this ball game. 58-yard kickoff and just about a 7-yard return. Reggie McKenzie is in the ball game at a guard spot for the Bills as they start from the 9-yard line, moving from our right to our left. Now they split off Hill and Chandler to the far side. And to the near side is Dwight Harrison. There are the 3 wide receivers we have just mentioned. Waiting for the snap. Shaw spins, hands off. There's a fumble on the play at the 12-yard line, a big pile-up. Now let's see who gets it. Apparently, Buffalo recovered. The Bills came up with the football. A gain of about 3 yards as the ball is placed down at the 12-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for Buffalo. The ball at their 12. They have Shaw at quarterback, Braxton and Simpson as the running backs. Dwight Harrison splits near side. J.D. Hill is behind a post. As far as I can see, Chandler off to the far side as double wide receivers. Here is the handoff going to O.J. He hits the middle and splits through a small opening, gets out across the 15 to about the 18-yard line. O.J. Simpson tackled by Doug Swift. We're seeing a balanced line here. These last 2 plays, they have the ordinary balanced line. Okay, they put the ball down at the 18-yard line. That's short of a first down. And here comes Jan White, tight end, into the ball game. And Ted Coy, the 2 tight ends. They have about a yard to go for a first down. The ball at the Buffalo 18. There are 2 big posts here right in front of our broadcast booth. And one of them happens to be right where the play is occurring right now. Shaw waiting for the snap from center. Flag goes down. As the handoff is taken, flags go down all over the place. And they picked up no gain on the play. Actually, a loss. Nick Bonaconte makes the tackle on the play along with weak side linebacker Mike Cullen. This is ridiculous. I can't even see around this post. Now the officials are indicating illegal motion against the Bills. It'll be declined by the Dolphins, and so the Dolphins take it down and force a punting situation. As the action now will move back to where we can see. Charlie Lee goes back as the deep man, and Dick Anderson will be the shallow man. Spike Jones, the punter, he has an average of 39.8 on the season as far as punting is concerned. Now Anderson is working up close, and the Dolphins may have a rush on this punting situation. The line of scrimmage is the 17-yard line in Buffalo territory. Here's a high snap. They do put on a pseudo rush to kick to the far side of the field. Anderson drops back hurriedly, picks the punt off, and is dropped. Back at about the Dolphins' 44-yard line. The tackle on the play made by Andy Selfridge, number 64, from the Bills specialty team. So setting the Dolphins offensively for you. The punt of 37 yards and no return. They put the ball down at the 45. Dolphins will have Earl Morrill at quarterback. Zonka and Chick will be the running back. Howard Pulley lines as the wide receiver to the far side. Here's the handoff going to Zonka. Fights his way over the left side, and he gets only about 2 yards to the 47-yard line. Doug Poussin and Norm Evans are the tackles. Marv Fleming, the tight end. Howard Pulley and Paul Warfield, the wide receivers. Bob Kuchenberg and Larry Little, the guards. Jim Langer, the center. Gain of a yard as they put it at the Dolphins' 46, second down and 9. Jerry Patton made the tackle on the last play. For Buffalo, the front line, Walt Patowski, Don Croft, Jerry Patton, Al Cowlings. The linebackers left to right, Paul Goodry, Ken Lee. Mike Stratton, the quarterbacks, Robert Jim.
One moment, please. We've temporarily lost our sound from Buffalo with Rick Weaver on the Miami-Buffalo football game. We'll try to get it back in just a moment. Hang on.
Down just outside the Bills' 20-yard line. Dave Washington now at a linebacker spot. Warfield flips to the far side, Pulley to the near side. Here's a handoff to Morris inside. He goes across the 20 down to about the 18-yard line. Right tackle Jerry Patton makes the stop on the play. Number 77, and Dave Washington, the linebacker, who's the man who was in on that controversial deflection a couple of weeks ago. About a gain of 2, and we'll call it second down and 8. The Dolphins moving from our left to our right toward the east end zone.
And Norm Evans had better plan on Washington coming in there most of the day. He's really coming in just as if he were playing a wide end, defensive end.
Now they're down in behind the pole to our right again. Pulley splits off to the left side. Kick is in the backfield along with Zonka. From the Bills' 18 on second down. Morrow play fake. Goes back to throw. Has time and out. His protection breaks down and he's thrown for a loss. Back at the 26-yard line. Dave Washington, the linebacker, finally broke through as Earl, from a moving pocket, moved to his left and could not find anybody open. He was looking for Chick, was the short man down there, and Warfield was deep, and they put the ball down back at the Bills' 26.
Rick, that's one of the few times I've ever seen Marv Fleming break down in his pass protection. He broke down completely. Washington just overpowered him.
Third down and 16, Dolphins ball at the Bills' 26-yard line. Mercury Morris just broke a 37-yard sprint around the near side, which it appeared he was out of bounds, but the official said no. All right, Warfield split far side. Pulley comes to the near side. Kick and Zonka are the split back. In behind Earl Morrow. Morrow drops back to throw on third and long yardage. He's set. He's firing deep for Pulley in the end zone. Overthrown, incomplete. Walt Patowski put the pressure on him that time at the last moment. The number 1 draft choice in all of professional football, a big rookie from Notre Dame. So that brings up a fourth down and 16, and Gary Yepremian's field goal team comes on. Yepremian on the season has kicked 10 out of 16 in the field goal department, has 48 points. And this will be about 33 yards. Morrow will hold from the far side inbound hash mark. He has what breeze there is to his back. A 33-yard attempt for Garrow. Waiting for the snap from center. Here it is. Set down. The kick is up. He's got the distance. It is perfect. With 10 minutes and 16 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Dolphin football action continues from Buffalo, New York, with the score. Our Dolphins 3 and the Buffalo Bills nothing. Rick Weaver, Luke Creekmer, and Henry Barrow back at War Memorial Stadium in Buffalo, New York. A 55-yard drive and 5 plays, culminating in a 33-yard field goal for Gary Yepremian. The Dolphins are on the board, 3-0, with 10:16 left to go in the first quarter. Garrow tees the ball up. Alvin Wyatt, number 41, is off deep to the far side. Lindsey Cole, number 26, down the near side, awaiting the kickoff. Here is Yepremian's kick. It's a squibber low, picked up by one of the men in the blocking wall at the 20, 25 to the 30, and he is cracked and really smeared at the 38-yard line. Picked up by Ted Coy, a tight end who is also a running back, and he's stationed up there just for that purpose. Jesse Powell makes the tackle on the Dolphins specialty squad. A return of about 17, 18 yards. And so the Bills come up with field position at their 38-yard line. Dolphins out in front by a score of 3-0. They break out of the huddle with three wide receivers. Harrison splits to the near side. Hill is split off the far side. Chandler slot man right now. He comes in motion to the near side. Braxton and Simpson behind Shaw. Play fake. Sprints back to his right. Gets the rush. Sets up. Fires. It is overthrown. Incomplete. The pass was intended for Chandler. The fans are booing vociferously. They thought that Nick Bonicani had interfered on the play. But the officials did not throw the flag. It goes as an incompleted forward pass. Chandler, the intended receiver. Now here comes Matheson in as either the linebacker or the rushing defensive end. As Hines goes out, Bonicani goes out. Lloyd Mumford is also in as a fifth defensive back. Hines will either come or go, depending on himself, as he calls it. And the linebacker will go with him, either Swift or Colin. A second down and 10. Bills ball at their 38-yard line. The same offensive deployment. The three wide receivers. Shaw drops straight back to throw. He sets. He fires the middle. It is caught by Braxton, the fullback, and he's knocked down at the Bills' 45-yard line. A gain of about 7 on the play. Tackled by Mike Colin. A gain of about 7. It'll be third down and 3 for the Buffalo Bills. The ball at their 45-yard line. The Dolphins out in front 3-0 on a 33-yard field goal by Garo Yepremian. Out of the huddle now come the Bills. Hill will be the wide man to the right side. Chandler slot man right. Dwight Harrison splits to the left side. Simpson and Braxton the split back. Behind Shaw. Shaw drops the throw. The quick out. It is caught by Hill across the 50, and he's knocked down into Dolphins territory at the Dolphins 47-yard line. J.D. Hill, a receiver. The tackle made by Lloyd Mumford. They pick up a first down. The first penetration for the Bills into Dolphins territory. Now they put it down at the Miami 46-yard line, so it's a gain of 9.
Rick, the Bills have had quite an opportunity to look at this 53 defense in prior films. It looks like they're able to keep out that front four.
Three wide receivers. Two of them, Chandler and Hill, split right. Harrison to the near side. Hand off to Braxton on the dive. He hits straight in across the left tackle and gets a couple of yards down to about the 43-yard line. Tackle made by Manny Fernandez and Vern Denherter for the Dolphins. They put it down at the Miami 43. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down and 7. We have not seen, Lou, have we, this unbalanced line yet this afternoon?
Not as yet this afternoon.
Okay, the ball at the Dolphins 43-yard line. Second down and 7. Hill splits wide to the right. Chandler slot man right. Dwight Harrison, wide receiver left. O.J. Simpson, Jim Braxton, the splitbacks behind Dennis Shaw. He drops the throw. He fires. It is overthrown, and Jennifer Braxton is planted in the middle. Braxton, the fullback, out of the backfield. He got a pretty good rush at the last moment as the Dolphin defenders had their hands up, and the pass is incomplete. It'll be a third down and 7. The ball at the Miami 43-yard line. 7 minutes, 52 seconds to go in the first quarter. Miami leads 3-0 on a Garo Yepremian 33-yard field goal. Airtime next week from the Orange Bowl. The first of 3 home games for our Dolphins against the New England Patriots on WIOD in Miami and these network stations at 12:50. And our Miami fans are invited to stay tuned right after our play-by-play broadcast for scores of other games. We'll keep you posted throughout this broadcast and what the other teams are doing. Shaw drops the throw. He fires, and it is caught by Harrison. 35, gets away from Johnson, cuts to the middle. 30, takes the tackler, and he has does it inside the 27-yard line. Dwight Harrison, a little hook pattern to the near sideline. Dick Anderson is the man who finally brought him down, and Curtis Johnson let him get away. On the near sideline, he just stepped right away, juke stepped right away from Curtis Johnson on the near side, cut to the middle, and was bouncing off tacklers, and Anderson perhaps saved the touchdown. That ball is at the 27. He picked up 15 yards as Shaw hits Dwight Harrison.
Rick, we haven't seen Dwight Harrison too much game down in Miami, but boy, that boy can really move. Great moves out there.
He scored a touchdown against us while he was with the Denver Broncos last year in the opening game of the season. Here is Shaw, drop play. Simpson up the middle, cuts back to his left. He is hit inside the 20, knocked down to the 19-yard line. O.J. picks up 8. A tackle on the play for the Dolphins made by Bob Matheson, and Simpson is shaken up on the play, comes limping. off to the near sideline. Henry?
That's what we were going to say, Rick. It appears to be his right ankle or right calf. They're working on him on the bench. We'll keep an eye over there.
Wayne Patrick, the 246-pound, 5-year veteran from Louisville, who has always been a thorn in the side of the Dolphins. In past years, comes in to replace Simpson. So they got two big backs in there. Braxton at 235, Simpson at, Patrick at 246. The ball at the Dolphins' 19-yard line. With a second down, here's the handoff going to Patrick. Pounds in across the left side and gets to about the 17. That will be close to a first down. As he's bounced by a couple of Dolphins, getting up off the bottom of the pile, Fernandez, Mike Tolan, and the officials call a timeout for a measurement. Henry?
The description that Simpson is giving the team trainer is that it's his right ankle.
O.J. has had a problem with an ankle in the past. They bring the chains in. They're going to be a little bit shy of a first down. It'll be third down, less than a yard. The ball at the Dolphins' 17. So they send in the two tight ends for the power blocking up front, Ted Toy, number 37, and Jan White, number 80.
Rick, they're taping Simpson's right ankle down there over the shoe. Looks like he'll probably be going right back in as soon as they get a chance.
The Dolphins made no-name defense now with the pressure on them early. Miami leads 3-0, but Shaw has his ball club moving. They set tight with Chandler as a wingman right, Braxton and Patrick the big back, third down, less than a yard at the Miami 17. Shaw sneaking for it, and it looks from here as if he's got it. Dennis Shaw, who's a big quarterback, he weighs 217 pounds. O.J. comes back in. Randy Jackson comes in. Dick Anderson, Mike Tolan made the tackle. They get the first down at the Miami 16-yard line. And White comes out. Simpson has come back in the ball game. Braxton is out. Now, Randy Jackson is a rookie, 220-pounder, number 33 from Wichita State, and he and O.J. Simpson are the two running backs. The ball at the Miami 16.
Good blocking by that Buffalo line on that quarterback sneak. They just did split Bob Hines and Manny Fernandez, just enough to get Shaw through there.
All right, Harrison splits left. Hills to the far side. Chandler, slot man right. Shaw up under center. From the Dolphins 16, he spins, hands off to Jackson, pounds the right side, gets inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line, and that's all. Gain of about 2 on the play for Randy Jackson, the big rookie from Wichita State. Doug Swift, number 59, linebacker spot, makes the tackle, and Reggie McKenzie, the rookie left guard who was questionable before the ball game with a bad ankle, comes limping off the field, and it's that ankle. Bobby Penkin, number 69, a rookie from Alcorn A&M, 6'5", 230, goes in to replace McKenzie at a guard spot. So the ball is at the Dolphin 14, a second down and 8. We have 4:35 to go in the first quarter. This is a sustained drive. Miami leads 3-0. Hill splits right. Chandler to the near side. Shaw up under center. Drops the throw. Now he's being rushed. He looks. He is caught and thrown right at the line of scrimmage. Bill Stanfill finally caught his man off and got in there and wrestled him down from behind. So the Dolphins pick up a quarterback sack, but Shaw had an inclination to run after he could find nobody open, and his blocking cordon was breaking down in front of him. No gain on the play. And the Dolphins put in Matheson, and Lloyd Mumford as Bonacana goes out in the 53 variation 5-man backfield prevent defense. The ball at the Dolphin 14. It'll be a third down and 8 for the Bills. Bills moving from our right to our left, and they're getting right down into the area of the other post. Harrison splits left. Hill to the far side. Chandler slot man right. Here is Shaw dropping back to throw. He fires. It is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Randy Jackson, number 33, the rookie running back from Wichita State. He just slanted over the middle, caught the ball, shook off Dick Anderson, and the Bills are on the board with a 6-3 lead. They've been talking upset here all week long, and this ball club is fired up. John Lapope, the kicking specialist, comes in to try the point from placement. 10 plays, 62 yards, a 14-yard touchdown pass, scoring play from Dennis Shaw to rookie Randy Jackson. Waiting for the snap. Here it is, set down. Kick is blocked. It is no good. Kick is blocked. And so, it is now a 6-3 ball game with 3 minutes and 52 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Dolphin football action continues from Buffalo, New York, with a score. The Bills 6, our Dolphins 3. Rick Weaver, Lou Quickmer, and Henry Farrell back at Buffalo, New York. A 62-yard drive, 10 plays, a 14-yard touchdown pass from Dennis Shaw to rookie Randy Jackson, and the Bills lead 6-3. That try for point was actually the result of a bad snap, was blocked by the whole center of the Dolphin line. Shaw now 3 for 5 unofficially in the forward passing department. John Leipold, number 3, will kick off as Mercury Morris and Charlie Lee, number 22. Morris off to the far side, and Lee, number 23, down to the near side. The third to receive the kickoff. Here it is against the wind. It is high, not too deep. Morris grabs it at the 8, straight ahead of the 10, the 15 to the 20, breaks to the far side, out the open, 30, 35, and he's knocked down at the 37-yard line. Mercury almost busted one. Tackled by Dick Cunningham on the Bills specialty team. Line return of some 28 yards by Morris, so the Dolphins will go to work from their 37-yard line. 3 minutes, 42 seconds left to go in this first quarter. We'll give them 24 yards unofficially on the kickoff return. Pulley splits near side. Warfield to the far side. Kick and Zonka. The I formation backs in behind Earl Morrow. Dolphins from their 37-yard line is where they'll start. On first down, trailing 6-3. On the snap, here's the handoff. Kick into the middle. Pounds across the 40. Gets to the 41, maybe the 42-yard line. Let's pause here for station identification on the Miami Dolphins Football Network.
Drive a new and different car every 6 months. William Lehman Leasing makes it possible. Call William Lehman Leasing for details.
WIOD Miami.
Second down and 6. Dolphin football at their 42. 2 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bills lead 6-3. Kick and Zonka in the eye behind Earl Morrow. The ball at the Miami 42-yard line. Earl on the handoff. Go hands to Zonka. Hole over the left side. 40, 50. Down to the 45. Down to the Bills' 41-yard line. Busts the bull. Larry Zonka for his biggest carry of the day. And a first down for the Dolphins at the Bills' 41. The tackle made by strong safety Maurice Tyler. And on the play, Larry Zonka rambles for 16 yards. And the Dolphins pick up a first down. Now they put it down at the 42.
Rick, we pretty well have seen a 6-1 throughout this entire first quarter here. I guess the Bills figure that they're going to run the ball, so they'll put the people up on the line.
Morrow has thrown the ball only once. That was incomplete. Here's the handoff. Kick, pounds the middle, staggers his way through there, still fighting and driving inside the 40 down to the 37. Goes Jim Kick. Maurice Tyler again makes the stop on the play. Mercury Morris comes into the Dolphins' offensive backfield, and the ball is placed down at the Buffalo 37-yard line. Gain of about 5. It'll be a 2nd and 5. Kick is out. Morris is in. The Dolphins with the most potent ground game in the National Football League coming into this ball game, and this has been the one area on defense where the Bills have broken down, stopping the rush. Warfield splits left, fully to the near side. Morris and Zonka the split backs behind Morrow. A 2nd down and 5 from the Bills' 37-yard line. Buffalo leads by a score of 6-3. We're in the first quarter. Morrow spins, hands to Zonka. He is hit and dropped after a gain of only a yard. Between left tackle and left guard, he gets a yard to the 36. Jerry Patton, the big rookie from Nebraska, number 77, gets the initial contact. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 3 as they mark the ball at the 35, give them a gain of 2. They put in, Dolphins put in Jim Mandich at tight end and send Marv Fleming to the far side bench. The ball just outside the Buffalo 35. They've got actually about 2.5 yards to go for a first down. We'll call it 3rd down and 3. Warfield splits left, fully to the near side. Morris and Zonka, the split backs behind Morrow. Just 52 seconds to go in the first quarter. Waiting for the snap. Earl drops the throw. He sets. He is firing in the middle. It is caught by Jim Mandich, the tight end, for a first down inside the 25, and he's knocked down immediately at the 23-yard line by strong safety Maurice Tyler. So Mandich in for one play, a slant over the middle. He picks up the reception. The Dolphins get a first down.
Rick, with this 6-man line, with this 6-man rush I've been talking about, that really leaves that zone right over the middle wide open. And there was no one around Jim Mandich when he broke in there.
13 yards on the pass completion. Morrow, as he converts the 3rd down to Jim Mandich, the ball at the Bills' 22-yard line. 18 seconds left to go in the first quarter. First down, Dolphins at the Bills' 22. Morris and Zonka, the I-backs, in behind Morrow. Warfield splits a couple of yards to the left side. Waiting for the snap from center. Morrow on the count. Hands off to Morris. Through a hole on the right side. Breaks the tackle to the 15, down to the 10. Still going to the 5. He scores! What a tremendous effort by Mercury Morris. He pounded the right side. There was no hole. Slid off a tackle. Bounced off another one at the 15. Was hit again at the 10. Carried a man with him from the 5 on into the end zone. A tremendous effort by Morris, a 22-yard scamper. And he was hit by Robert James and Mike Stratton. Neither one of them could contain him. And Gerald Yepremian will try the point from placement. Morrow will hold. There is no time showing on the clock left in this period. 5 plays, 62 yards, and Morris a 22-yard touchdown run. And that's, we'll wait for the snap. Here it is, set down. The kick is up. There's a flag down. Kick is good, and the penalty is against Buffalo for offside. So the kick will stand up. That touchdown for Mercury Morris on the season, his 5th, which ties him with Bronca for the club lead. That's the end of the first quarter. We have no time showing on the clock. They haven't changed ends of the field yet. Now here they go. That's the end of the first quarter. Dolphin football action continues from Buffalo, New York, with the score are Dolphins 10 and Buffalo 6. We're ready to start the second quarter. The Dolphins out in front with a 10-6 lead against the scrappy Buffalo team. Lindsey Cole, number 26, deep up to the far side. Alvin Wyatt, number 41, deep to the near side. Here's your Premian's kick. It'll be taken by Cole at the 7, straight out to the 10, the 15, to the 20, 25, to the 30, and he's out to the 35 before he is finally knocked off his feet. We're getting some spectacular kickoff returns by both sides this afternoon. And the tackle on that play made by a former Buffalonian, Howard Kindig, along with Jesse Powell on the Dolphins specialty team. So the Bills will start from their 35-yard line. A 28-yard return that time by Lindsey Cole. Dennis Shaw, the quarterback, has Dwight Harrison split far side. Chandler slot man right, Hill the outside man to the near side. Waiting for the snap from center. Here is the handoff going to O.J. Simpson through the middle. And he is at the 38. The flag is thrown. And perhaps somebody grabbed the face mask. Manny Fernandez on the stop. Now the penalty is going to be against Buffalo. The indication from the official on this side was, and we misread it, was that it was somebody grabbing the face mask, but the penalty apparently is against the Bills.
Looks like it's on J.D. Hill. J.D. Hill and Foley were out there having a little discussion.
This will be a major infraction against Buffalo. Ball is back at the 23-yard line in Buffalo territory. It'll be a first down and 22 yards to go. A personal foul, presumably on J.D. Hill. So the Dolphins put in the prevent defense. Bob Matheson is in, and Bob Hines is out. Randy Jackson, number 33, and O.J. Simpson, number 32, are the running backs. They are split behind Shaw. Shaw drops to throw, gets the rush. He is caught. He is thrown for a big loss back at the 12-yard line. And there were a whole host of white uniforms. Stanfill was in there, Manny Fernandez, Bob Matheson. And let's see where they're going to say his forward progress was halted. They put it down at the 14-yard line, so he loses about 8 yards.
Rick, that offensive line down there in Buffalo has to take the lesser of two evils. They put 2 men on Fernandez on that play. Consequently, that ties up the center, and this means the other boys coming in just have the one-on-one.
Jim Braxton replaces Jackson in the running back spot. It is second down and 30. Here is the handoff. Flag goes down. Braxton on a slant into the middle. Gets out to about the 17 of the 18, but there is a flag down along the near side of the field. We've just started this second quarter, and we're going to get an illegal motion call against Buffalo. It's on J.D. Hill, who moved before the snap of the ball from his wide receiver spot. The Dolphins declined the penalty, and so Buffalo will pick up about 4 yards on the gain, but the down is the important thing as Lloyd Mumford comes in and Nick Bonacani goes out to give the Dolphins an extra defensive back. An obvious passing situation, third down and 27 for Buffalo, the ball at their 18-yard line. We've got Chandler and Hill split to the near side, Harrison split to the far side. The backs are in an eye behind Dennis Shaw, the Bills from their 18. Here's the handoff to Braxton. He hits over the left side and gets out across the 20. Shaw elected not to throw the football, and they kept it on the ground. They got nowhere near what they needed for a first down as the ball is placed down at the 22, and so the fourth down punting situation comes up. Spike Jones will punt, number 11, 39.8 average going into this afternoon's game. He has kicked one for 37 yards. Charlie Lee is back deep. Anderson up close to the line of scrimmage, and he will drop back quickly. The line of scrimmage is the 22 in Buffalo territory. Jones standing back at about the 8-yard line, kicking with the wind was back. A low snap. He's going to run with the ball. Now he kicks it out of there, and he gets it off the side of his foot, goes out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. He was cracked back there. Mercury Morris.
Tim Foley knocked him down there, Rick, and there won't be any rushing or any roughing of the kicker on this. Seeing as he elected to run around there, there's no way that you can call it.
That was Tim Foley who put the rush on him. A bad snap precipitated that play. There was a timeout. Dolphin football action continues from Buffalo with the score: our Dolphins 10 and the Bills 6. Rick Weaver back at Buffalo, New York. That was Tim Foley. Of course, that bad snap which precipitated just a 6-yard punt by Jones. He had a run out and looked like he was going to run. He got behind the pole, and then Foley came in and really forced him. And he gets off a 6-yard punt. The Dolphins have excellent field position and at the Bills' 28-yard line. That drive by Buffalo wound up a minus 13 yards in 4 plays. That's how tough the Dolphin defense was. Here's the handoff. The kick follows Zonka's pole. Right side, cuts back to his left. 25 to the 20, down inside the 20. Goes Butch Cassidy. As Zonka was moving people out of the way in front of him. And they'll put the ball down at about the 19, perhaps a little bit closer to the 20-yard line. Al Collins, Mike Stratton. Ball is at the 20, so it's a gain of 8, 2nd and 2.
Looks like we're getting into some straight, rough, tough football, Rick. That was an ordinary off tackle with Zonka leading him through the hole.
First quarter, Washington leads the Jets 7-0. The ball at the Bills' 20-yard line. Here's the handoff. Kick through a hole on the left side. Got the first down, and he is cracked at the 15. He is nailed on a good tackle that time by middle linebacker Ken Lee, the young man who leads the league in interceptions. Pittsburgh leads Cincinnati 7-0 first quarter. Dolphins have a first down at the Bills' 15-yard line. Washington 7, Jets nothing first quarter. Detroit 7, Chicago nothing first quarter. All right, Morris has come in and kick goes out. The ball is at the Bills' 15. Dolphins moving from our right to our left toward the west end of the field. Twilly splits right. Warfield sets as a slot man right. This was set up by a bad snap from center and a 6-yard punt by Spike Jones. Here is Morrow sprinting out to his right, looking to throw. He fires. It is underthrown, incomplete. It was intended for Warfield down at the 5-yard line as Warfield went up and curled out at the 5, but Morrow was off balance and got the pass a little bit short. Mike Stratton and Dave Washington, linebackers. Al Collins, we notice, is not playing now for Buffalo. The ball is at the Bills' 15-yard line. Collins, the defensive right end. A 2nd down and 10 for a first down, 15 yards to go for a score. 11:57 to go in the second quarter. Dolphins lead 10-6. Warfield splits left, fully to the far side. Morris now in there with Zonka as the split back behind Morrow. Morrow hands. Mercury, draw play, hits the middle, inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. And he has run. He has really run this afternoon. He picks up about 6 on that carry. Don Croft, defensive left tackle, the rookie from Texas El Paso, made the tackle. Well, they put the ball down just inside the 10. We'll call it the 10 for accuracy's sake. Mandich comes in, replaces Fleming at tight end. It'll be a 3rd down and 4 for the Dolphins for a first down. Actually, about 3.5, just inside the Bills' 10. 10 yards to go for a score. Mike Stratton, the linebacker, is moving around on each play for Buffalo. Warfield splits to the near side, fully to the far side. Morris and Zonka the split back. On a 3rd and 4 from the Buffalo 10. Morrow drops the throw, getting a good rush. He fires. It is incomplete. Warfield couldn't hold on to it. In the end zone, we would have had a touchdown. He had his man, was in behind his man. The 2 safeties, Wyatt and Tyler, were both back there, but the pass appeared to hit him off the right shoulder pad, and he just couldn't hold on to it. So that brings up a 4th and 4 for a first down. The ball is at the Buffalo 10. Dolphins leading by a score of 10-6, and Garrow is in to try a field goal from straight out in front. No angle. This will be a 17-yard attempt, and Earl Morrow will hold. Waiting for the snap. Garrow had one earlier of 33 yards. Here it is, set down. The kick is up. It is perfect. And so, with 11 minutes and 9 seconds to go in this second quarter, Dolphin football action continues from Buffalo, New York, with a score, our Dolphins 13 and Buffalo 6. This is Rick Weaver, Luke Wickmer, and Henry Barrow back at War Memorial Stadium in Buffalo, New York. The Dolphins have moved out to a 13-6 lead with 11:09 to go in this second quarter. Yepremian has 2 field goals of 33 yards and 17. Mercury Morris a 22-yard run. And Buffalo's only score a 14-yard touchdown pass from Dennis Shaw to Randy Jackson. Lindsey Cole, 26, and Alvin Wyatt, 41, back to receive the kickoff from Yepremian. He squibs it again down the near side, picked up by one of the blocking men. Back at the 18 to the 20, out across the 25 to the 30, out to the 34-yard line. Goes Andy Selfridge, who is a linebacker, a rookie from Virginia, and Charlie Babb makes the tackle on the play. So the Bills, off Gary Yepremian's squib kick, have the position of the field at the 34-yard line. Their own 34 with Dennis Shaw trying to get a little impetus into his offense now. They've had one drive, and that culminated in a touchdown. Dwight Harrison splits left. Chandler goes to the left with him. To the near side is Hill, Simpson, and Jackson are the splitbacks. In behind Dennis Shaw. He drops straight back to throw. He sets, gets a good rush, is caught. He is going no place. He's thrown for a loss. Getting his hands on him first was Vern Denherter, the big second-year man, number 83 from Central of Iowa, and he makes his 6th quarterback sack of the season. As they put the ball down back at the Buffalo 32. It's a loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 12.
And Randy Jackson was open again, Rick, in that area right over the middle. It's a good thing they got to the passer on that play.
All right, the Dolphins now have Bob Matheson in there. He will either go as a linebacker or a defensive end. The receivers, 3 wide receivers split. Here is the little hook pattern to the near side, intended for J.D. Hill, and was overthrown incomplete. He just went off the near side wide receiver spot, about 5 yards out, stopped and waited for the slant-out pass, but the ball was thrown high.
And Matheson and Stanfield playing tricks on that last one, Rick. Stanfield went out wide, and Matheson came to his inside, so they're trying to get in there to the passer.
3rd down and 12, the ball for Buffalo at their 32. Randy Jackson out, Jim Braxton in at a defensive or offensive backfield position. Lloyd Mumford has come in now as the Dolphins prevent defense. Nobody really has been able to solve this Dolphin 53 with variations thus far in the season. You might solve it for a while. Here's Shaw now. Swings a pass to Simpson. He gets away from one man trying to circle the left side. This is a broken play, and he's thrown for a big loss. Back to the 24-yard line. Simpson went back to his left, and it looked like Shaw had missed a handoff and was looking for somebody to dump the ball off to. Simpson was standing back there, and Denherter and Matheson finally got him as O.J. had no place to go. And he was thrown for a loss back to the 25-yard line. So it brings up a 4th down, and Spike Jones comes in to handle the punting chores. The last time he got a bad snap, had to run out of the pocket, and got off a 6-yard kick as Tim Foley harassed him. Charlie Lee is back deep. Line of scrimmage 25. Another low snap. He gets it out of there. It's almost blocked. Low end over end kick. Dick Anderson, the short man, grabs it at the Dolphin 48, and he is cracked. He is snowed under right at the 48, possibly the 49-yard line. He might have gotten back a yard, but that's all. Remy Fredholm, the center, who also plays on the Buffalo Bills specialty teams, was the first man down to make the tackle. We got a timeout on the field with 9:16 to go in the first half. Dolphin football action continues from Buffalo, New York, with the score. Our Dolphins 13 and Buffalo 6. Rick Weaver back at Buffalo, New York. That kick by Jones that time, just 28 yards, and he got a good rush, just barely got it out of there. Anderson got about a half-yard return. We'll say it's nothing, and the Dolphins will start from their 48-yard line. Morrow has thrown just 3 times this afternoon and completed one. That's a mandate for 13 yards. Warfield splits to the near side, fully to the far side. Kick and talk of the split back behind Morrow. From our 48, Earl drops the throw. Flips as he fires. He completes the pass to Marv Fleming at the Buffalo 30. Gets the block. Down the near side. 25 to the 20-yard line. Goes Marvelous Marv. The big tight end who was wide open in the middle. As Morrow dropped the throw, he hit a slippery spot that had been sanded over before the ball game, and he couldn't tell where the ball was going to go. 31 yards, but Fleming was right there in the middle and hauled it in. Got a good block up front and gets down to the 21-yard line. Maurice Tyler, the strong safety, had to bring him down. 31 yards on the pass completion from Morrow to Marv Fleming. First down for the Dolphins at the Bills' 21-yard line. Fully, wingman right. Warfield split a couple of yards to the near side. Here's the handoff. Kick through the right side, and he is not going to go very far as he is stacked up at about the 21. No gain on the play as the blue shirts were waiting for him. Mercury Morris, who has run extremely well, 22-yard touchdown scamper, another run of 37 yards, comes in to the Dolphins' backfield, and kick goes out. It'll be a 2nd down and 10. Dolphins ball at the Bills' 21-yard line. Miami out in front by a score of 13-6. 8 minutes and 9 seconds left to play in this first half. And we have not seen the Buffalo unbalanced line this afternoon. We have not seen much of anything from the Bills' offense. Here's Morrow dropping the throw on 2nd and 10. He has time. He is firing deep for Warfield. He's down there. He can't hold it. Right off his fingertips on the baseline of the end zone. And out of the end zone, incomplete. Morrow was a little bit high, and Paul misses his 2nd touchdown attempt. Morrow has had the ball right there near him, but not exactly precisely on target.
Rick, we heard so much about this unbalanced line and all that Buffalo Bills would be running today. I just wonder if Saban planned on a little bit of this last week so that Don Shula and the rest of the coaches would have some sleepless nights this last week.
All right, Fleming goes out. Mandich comes in at tight end for the Dolphins. 3rd and 10. The ball at the Bills' 21. Dolphins moving toward the west end to our left. Warfield splits left, fully to the far side. Morris and Zonka the split-backs. In behind Morrow. Waiting for the snap. Earl drops the throw. Sets up. Fires the middle. Caught by Howard Twilley. He is down at the 11-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. Twilley on a slant in over the middle. Caught the ball. It was knocked down immediately at about the Bills' 11-yard line. Illegal procedure is the call. And it appears to be against Buffalo. That pass completion from Morrow to Twilley, 10 yards. First downs thus far unofficially. Miami 5, Buffalo 4. Passing Shaw 39 yards through the air. Morrow has a gain of 44 yards through the air. This is a bit of conjecture on this call here. The Dolphins, Earl Morrow is talking with the referee, Jack McDonough. Now we get the call. Defensive holding is the call, not illegal procedure. And that is an automatic first down, so that's what the discussion was about. Whether the Dolphins would take the first down on the pass completion. And the Bills are guilty of defensive holding, which is a first down anyway. And the Dolphins would not have quite picked up a first down on the pass completion. So the drive continues alive with a first down at the Buffalo 16-yard line off the 5-yard defensive holding penalty.
We might see Earl just throw a pass in here. Rick, try to get that score quick down here.
Morris and Zonka, the split-backs behind Morrow. Warfield splits left, fully to the far side. Earl sets his ball club. First down at the Buffalo 16-yard line. Dolphins lead 13-6. We're in the second quarter. Long count at the line of scrimmage. Morrow drops the throw. He's looking for Warfield. It is knocked away at the 2-yard line. A good defensive play by Leon Garor, number 47, defensive back, who plays at a corner spot. And he got in front of Warfield and deflected the pass away. And Morrow is 0 for 3 as far as Paul is concerned near that end zone this afternoon. Fleming comes back in at tight end, and Mandich goes out. It'll be a second down and 10. Dolphins ball at the Bills' 16. 7 minutes, 38 seconds left to go in this first half. And the Dolphins actually trail at one time, 6-3, lead 13-6. Right now, Twilley splits far side. To the near side comes Warfield. Morris and Zonka, the split-backs, in behind Morrow. On a 2nd and 10 from the Buffalo 16-yard line. Here's the handoff to Mercury. Sweep to the right. Cuts back to his left. Down to the 10. He is knocked out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Perhaps the 9 on the far side of the field. The man who ran him out was the big middle linebacker, number 56, Ken Lee. And let's see where they put the ball down at the Buffalo 9. So he gets about 7 yards on the play. And Mandich comes back in. And Fleming goes out. Kick is also in, and Morris is out. The Dolphin offensive alignment. It'll be a third down coming up, and about 3 yards to go for a first down, 9 yards to go for a touchdown. 7 minutes, 5 seconds to go in the first half. Dolphins lead 13-6. Twilley splits right. Warfield comes to the near side. Kick and Zonka are the split-backs behind Morrow. 3rd and 3 from the Bills' 9. Morrow drops the throw. He fires. It is up at the goal line, intended for Jim Kick. It was a swing pass as he was coming out of the backfield, and the ball just overled him, and he had to dive for it. It bounced right off his fingertips at the goal line.
And everybody on defense came on that, Rick. They even had the strong safety coming in.
So that brings up another 4th down situation, and Garrow comes in to try his 3rd field goal of the afternoon. He has field goals of 33 and 17 yards. Last year he kicked 5 in this game up here, and this will be a 16-yard attempt. Down here at the west end zone. Snap, set down, the kick is up, and it's good. Garrow Yepremian gets it through the upright, so Garrow has 3 field goals this afternoon with 6 minutes and 48 seconds left to play in this football game. We are caught up with our commercial timeout, so we'll hold it here. And the score now is Miami 16 and Buffalo 6, as Garrow has a real leg up on the Specialty Teams Award this afternoon with 3 field goals, as he will prepare to kick off here in just a moment. As Yepremian gets his 3rd field goal of the afternoon, 16 yards. That drive, 41 yards in 6 plays. And again, it was set up by a short punt by Spike Jones. They can't fault Jones all the way on these last 2 short punt situations, 1 of 6 and 1 of 28 yards, because he has had bad snaps on both occasions. So the Dolphins now with a 10-point lead, 16-6. Reminder that the Dolphins will return, scheduled to arrive via their charter at Miami International tonight at about 7:40. Looking for their 8th consecutive win on this season, their 9th in the last 2 years, and trying to give Don Shula his 99th career coaching victory. The Dolphins coming home for the next 3 weeks against New England next Sunday, against the New York Jets. Both those games are sold out on November the 19th, and the Monday night game against the St. Louis Cardinals on the 27th, before hitting the road again to New England and New York on December 3rd and 10th. Lindsey Cole, 26, Alvin Wyatt, 41, back to take the Permian kickoff. He squibs it again. This is being done on purpose. Down the near side it rolls, and it's going to go out of bounds, so the Dolphins will get a 5-yard penalty. They're trying to get somebody up front to grab the football. At least that's the way it appears from up here. Garrow has kicked 3 consecutive squibbers, and they want to keep Cole, who is a speedster, and Wyatt, who is a speedster, from running kickoffs back. They had a couple of good run backs earlier, but that time he got it out of bounds, so they'll kick it over again on the 5-yard penalty, and the ball will be placed down on the illegal procedure call back at the Dolphins 35. 6 minutes, 43 seconds left to play in this first half. The Dolphins, after getting an opening 33-yard field goal, the Bills came down and rammed it down our throats. 14-yard touchdown pass from Shaw to Randy Jackson. And then since that time, the Dolphins have taken control, and the Bills have made some mistakes. Score is 16-6 at this stage. Here is your Permian forward once again. He gets it off the side, down the far side of the field, and that was going to go roll out of bounds for another penalty at the 15-yard line. And so another 5-yard penalty, and Garrow will kick off this time from the 30-yard line. And the fans are getting a big charge out of this. I don't believe that he is doing this on purpose, because he is much too superior a kicker. But the Dolphins do not want to give the Bills a chance to run the football back. This game is still, just 10 points apart, so he's trying to squib them and get some of those, perhaps, people who are unfamiliar with handling the football on the blocking wall, although they do have a couple of running backs up there, to try to make a mistake with it.
Rick, I think he's intentionally kicking that, what you call squibber down there, but really he's not intentionally kicking it out of bounds. He'd like to get somebody to catch it before it gets out that far.
That's the idea. And the ball is now off the second consecutive 5-yard penalty back at the Dolphins 30. And Garrow bootlegs knuckleballs one up. Ted Coy picks it up to 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and it's right down at the Dolphins 44. That's just exactly what they didn't want. And Coy is a running back tight end used to handling the football. Curtis Johnson made the tackle on the play and saved perhaps the touchdown. That ball was a little knuckleball as he hit it high, and Coy just grabbed it. I don't think it turned over in the air as it went downfield.
It didn't. I think Garrow almost had to make a tackle on that play, Rick. He was the last man.
All right, the Bills have excellent field position. We'll call it at the Dolphin 45-yard line. Shaw, the quarterback, has Braxton and Simpson in the eye, waiting for the snap. Here's the handoff to O.J. Cuts outside to his left. He does not get the corner turn. A flag is thrown as he gets to the 42. Gain of about 3 on the play. Weak side linebacker Mike Cullen makes the tackle. And the penalty appears to be against the Dolphins. This time it is the face mask on the tackle. This will give Buffalo a first down. And this year, it is a 5-yard infraction in the NFL, where it used to be 15 yards before.
I think it was called on Mike Colin, Rick.
All right, the penalty gives the Bills a first down at the Dolphins' 38-yard line. Henry?
You read that one right, Lou. It was officially called on Mike Colin.
All right, out of the huddle out come the Bills. Hill comes to the near side. They've got just 2 wide receivers in there. Jan White, the tight end, is in. Chandler's a slot man, right? Braxton and Simpson in the eye. Hand off to O.J. Tries to hit the middle, and he gets no place. 80 yards to the 41, or check it to the 36, and that's all. Tackle by Manny Fernandez. Into the ball game comes Dwight Harrison. Now we get back to the 3 wide receiver concept as Jan White, number 80, the tight end, heads for the bench. And the Dolphins insert Bob Matheson on their 53 variation, replacing Bob Hines. 5:40 left to go in the first half. Dolphins lead 16-6. A second down, and we'll call it 7 for the Bills at the Dolphins' 36-yard line. Harrison splits left, Chandler and Hill to the near side. Split back, Simpson and Braxton behind Shaw. He drops the throw. He's set. He is going to get hit. He gets the pass off. It's caught by Hill. 25, shakes the tackle at the 20, and he's knocked down at the 18-yard line. J.D. Hill, a great receiver. And a tackle finally made by Dick Anderson. He was hit a couple of times, and Mr. Shaw was really bounced, but he got the pass away. 18 yards on the pickup. Pass completion from Shaw to J.D. Hill. And the Bills now have the ball at the 18-yard line. Here comes Hines back in, replacing Matheson. It's not a prevent situation. All right, Hill puts to the far side, Chandler to the near side. Braxton and Simpson, Braxton behind Shaw. They're right in behind the right side pole now behind us. Here's a handoff to Simpson. Runs into one of his own blockers, and the play was stacked up. He is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage over the left side. No gain. O.J., they are really holding him up.
O.J. fumbled that ball in there, Rick, on that play, and he recovered his own fumble, luckily.
Mike Cullen gets credit for the tackle. No gain on the play. Hines out, Matheson in on defense. Jan White is out, and Dwight Harrison, the third wide receiver for Buffalo, is back in. The ball at the Dolphins' 18-yard line. Second down and 10. 4:12 to go in the first half. 16-6. This was set up by a couple of consecutive penalties on Yepremian's kickoffs that went out of bounds, and then Foy picked up a short kick and ran it back to give the Bills excellent field position. Here is Shaw dropping back to throw. He sets. Now his protection breaks down, and Denherter drops him for a loss. Back at the 26-yard line. That is Denherter's second official sack of the quarterbacks this afternoon, and his 7th of the season. What a campaign this big youngster from Central of Iowa is having from the Dolphins' defensive left end. They put it down at the Miami 25-yard line.
Your best bet for a beautiful Buick is at William Lehman Buick, the dealer you can believe in. William Lehman Buick, 163rd Street in North Miami Beach.
WIOD Miami.
Out there clear.
Harrison splits left. Chandler and Hill come to the near side. Braxton and Simpson, the split backs. In behind Shaw from the Dolphins 25, third and long yardage. He's back to throw. He's hit again. Bounces away. Gets a little flare pass out to Simpson, and he's knocked down at the 20-yard line. He was hit again. Shaw was behind the line of scrimmage this time. Bounced off the tackle, and O.J. Simpson was right out in front of him as a blocker or an intended pass receiver, and he just dumped the ball off to him, and Simpson caught it, gets to the Dolphins 20. That is not enough for a first down, and will force him into a field goal try. And Leipold, the field goal kicking specialist, comes in. He on the season is 10 out of 14 and has 47 points. The right-footed straight-in kicker, Bob Chandler, will hold. This will be a 27-yard attempt toward the east end zone. Leipold, number 3, waiting for the snap. Here it is, set down. The kick is up. He's got the distance. It's no good. Off to his left. He just must have missed that one because he had it plenty high and had the distance, but the kick is no good. Off to the kicker's left. So we have 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go in this first half as the Dolphins will take over at our 20-yard line, moving from our right to our left. On that missed field goal attempt with a first down, 2:38 left to play in the half, and Miami with a 16-6 lead. Field goal attempt no good by Leipold. Earl Morrill, the quarterback, has kicked, and Zonka, the split backs. Willie splits right. Warfield to the near side. First down, Dolphins from our 20-yard line. Waiting for the snap. Earl hands off the kick, center step, hole in the middle, and gets out to about the 24. Jim kick for short yardage. Don Croft, defensive left tackle for Buffalo, makes the stop on the play. It'll be a second down and 6. We are approaching the 2-minute warning, another 20 seconds. Airtime next week. Dolphins are at home. Complete sellout against the New England Patriots on WIOD and these network stations, 1250. Second down and 6, Dolphins from our 24-yard line. Morrill on the snap. Drops to throw. He sets up, fires over the outstretched hand. Picked off by Tony Green. 40, 35, 30, 20, 15 to the 10, 5, touchdown, Buffalo. Green, the right cornerback, a second-year man, number 43 from Maryland State, picked that pass off at the 40. Had nobody lay a hand on him down the near sideline. That's for Morrill, his third interception. We had just remarked that Earl got that pass away. I believe it was intended for Warfield, over the outstretched hands of the pass rusher, and he threw it too high, and Green picked it off, and they're in for a quick 6. Here's the snap. The kick is up. Is it good or not?
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. Okay. And we have 2 minutes and 1 second showing on the clock. So the Bills are right back in it as Tony Green, the right cornerback, runs a Morrow pass interception 40 yards back for a touchdown. Leipold converts with 2 minutes and 1 second left to go. In this first half, it's now a 16-13 ball game. That for Earl is his third pass interception of the season, and 2 of them, ironically, have come against this Buffalo team. The first one was also run back for a touchdown. Kenny Lee, the big linebacker, 2 weeks ago.
Actually, Earl was throwing a comeback on that play, Rick, and on this play, Warfield goes down and comes back to the passer, comes back towards the line. Well, it just so happens that Tony Green read it just perfectly and went up there high. The ball was just hanging there, and he took it away.
Green is only 5'9". He's outside of Yepremian, perhaps the smallest man on either team. But what a tremendous athlete he is, the right cornerback. So it's 16-13, and this one gets hairy once again as Leipold prepares to kick off. Charlie Lee, 23 deep off to the far side. Mercury Morris, 22 down the near side. Here comes Leipold forward, gets the toe to it, gets it high. It's a deep kick. Back into the end zone. Morris will not run it back. Downs it in the end zone, and so the Dolphins will take the touchback and will bring it out and start from our 20-yard line. And the clock is stopped. I believe this will be the 2-minute warning. We have not had the official 2-minute warning yet, and we are waiting for the official signification. I guess that's it. Dolphin football action continues from Buffalo, New York with the score. Our Dolphins 16, Buffalo 13. Rick Weaver, Luke Rickmer, and Henry Barrow back at Buffalo, New York. Let's pause quickly for station identification on the Dolphins Football Network.
This is WIOD Miami.
Ready to go. Dolphins line up the line of scrimmage. Morris and Zonka the split back. Here's the handoff to Mercury. Sweeps to the left, shakes off a tackler. Touchback to his right. He gets out across the 25. Down the near side, and is knocked down at the 26-yard line. Tackle on the play made by middle linebacker Ken Lee for Buffalo. This Buffalo team has to be fired up now after they pull back now to within 3 points on that pass interception. Run back at 40 yards for a touchdown by cornerback Tony Green. Morrow unofficially 2 out of 5 with 1 interception. Ball at the Dolphins 26, second down and 4. Morris is carried unofficially 6 times for 80 yards. Here's a handoff to Zonka, and he is really cracked. Trying to hit the middle. He gets about a yard. Jerry Patton hit him low on a picture tackle, and Larry fell forward to about the 27. Buffalo calls a timeout. We'll hold it here with 1 minute and 17 seconds left to go in this first half. The score is 16-13 in favor of the Dolphins. When time is in, it'll be a 3rd down and 3 situation. As we said, Morris has carried unofficially 6 times for 80 yards. Mercury has a touchdown of 22 yards. This Buffalo team, take something like that, Lou, with that pass interception. You've had it happen many times to you in a ball game. Really turns the momentum around.
Yes, Rick, they've got to be really fired up down there right now. You can rest assured that they're going to come in there and really give Earl his hands full when he tries to get that ball off. I imagine what we're going to see with Earl here is try to pretty well just control the ball, stay with the ground attack, keep it down there, and not give him an opportunity to pick off another one and go all the way. That could really be utter chaos.
Well, he's not had a great deal of success with his passing game today. Has missed Warfield on 3 occasions in the end zone. And he's had better success with keeping the ball on the ground. And that would certainly seem to be the indication here at this stage of the ball game, with the lead now down to 3 points, 1 minute 17 to go in the half. A 3rd down and 3 for the Dolphins from the 27. Punter Larry Seipel has not had a kick yet this afternoon. Dolphins out of the huddle, line up with Pulley split right, Warfield flat right, Morris and Zonka split backs behind Morrow. From the Dolphin 27, Earl spinning back to his right. He looks like he's going to throw. He fires. It is incomplete. Pulley had to come back to the far sideline after starting a cut for the middle, and the ball was thrown behind him. Don Croft put a good rush on Morrow, and they had good coverage back there on Pulley. The pass was nowhere near where it was supposed to be, so the Dolphins have to give up the football on Seipel's first punt of the afternoon. Lindsey Cole is back as the deep man. Line of scrimmage, the 27-yard line in Dolphin territory. Seipel with a 39.8-yard average per kick. Stands back at the 12. Here is the snap, a little bit high, gets it out of there and gets off a wobbly end-over-end kick for the far side of the field. Bounces at the Buffalo 45 and is going to be down by a Miami player at the Bills' 42 or 43-yard line. Little pushing and shoving match goes on between members of both teams. And so it'll be the Bills' ball at their 44 is where they put the football down. And they're in their 2-minute offense with 59 seconds left to go in the half. Shaw, the quarterback. That was a 29-yard punt that time by Larry Seipel. Shaw drops the throw. He fires. Little hook pass dropped by Simpson. O.J. was looking upfield. He had it in his hands. He was wide open at the Bills' 49. Little hook pattern just out to the near side flat. He was looking upfield to see where he was going to go, and he dropped the ball. He took his eye off the football. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball for Buffalo at their 44-yard line. Clock is stopped with 51 seconds to go in the half. Miami leads 16-13, a real dogfight. 3 wide receivers in. Harrison and Chandler split far side. J.D. Hill to the near side. Braxton and Simpson the split backs. Back to throw is Shaw. He throws again on a flat out for Simpson at the 50, and it's underthrown, incomplete. He couldn't hold on to it. Tim Foley, the Dolphins' left corner, covered on the play. So 2 to Simpson, and Shaw now has a 3rd down and 10 situation. Dennis has put the ball in the air 10 times, has completed 5. Unofficially, the ball at the Bills' 44. And those 3 field goals by Gary Yepremian loom ever large at this stage of the ball game. We've got Chandler and Harrison split left. Hill to the near side. Here's the pitch to Simpson. Out to the right side. The 50. The 45. 40. He is down the near sideline, and they say he's out of bounds at the Dolphins' 36. O.J. on the pitch to the right side, to the near side, and he gets good yardage of first down for the Bills. Gives them good field position. 20 yards for Simpson on the scamper.
Did it all on himself, by himself, too, Rick, because his guard coming out there was knocked down by the Miami defensive end coming across. He did it all by himself.
42 seconds left to play in the half. They're getting within field goal range at least now. The ball at the Dolphin 36, first down. Shaw drops the throw. He fires a little flare pass. Simpson's got it, 35. Hook step. He is hit and dropped at the Dolphins 29. 6-yard pickup. And Buffalo calls a timeout to stop the clock. They have 1 timeout remaining. Vern Denherter made the tackle on the play. And a little flare pattern, flat pass out to the near side. And Simpson was right on target that time. He gets down to the Dolphins' 29-yard line. When time is in with 33 seconds left to play in the half, it'll be a 2nd down and 3 for a Buffalo first down at the Miami 29-yard line. Dolphins with a 16-13 lead. As Miami's touchdown has been scored by Mercury Morris. And Gary Yepremian has 3 field goals of 33, 17, and 16 yards. The Bills have 2 touchdowns, one on a sustained drive, 14-yard pass from Dennis Shaw to Randy Jackson, and then a pass interception off an Earl Morrell pass by cornerback Tony Green around at 40 yards in for the score. This Buffalo team has gone to the right side here 4 times in a row with either a run or a pass.
Rick, I guess they've been looking for a weakness in that 53 or in that prevent defense that Miami throws at them in these situations. And right now, this seems to be where you have the weak area with that flare back coming out right up on a short diagonal one towards the sideline.
Both clubs back in a huddle, planning their strategy. Now they break out of it. Buffalo ready to put the ball in play. 32 seconds to go in the half. The ball at the Miami 29. A 2nd down and 3 for a first down. Harrison splits left to the near side. 2 wide receivers. Shaw drops the throw. Fires the middle. It is caught. And down at the 21-yard line, Tim Foley made the tackle on the play. And that's a first down for Buffalo at the Miami 21-yard line. Here is Shaw throwing for the near side. He throws it purposely away out of bounds to stop the clock. Hill was the intended receiver. 9 yards on that pass completion. And the ball is at the Dolphin 21. He threw the ball out of bounds to stop the clock and get over to talk to Lou Saban now. They have only 1 timeout remaining. 13 seconds showing on the clock. The ball is at the Dolphin 21 with a 2nd down and 10. They break out of the huddle. Harrison splits left to the near side. Chandler and Hill. Braxton and Simpson are the split backs behind Shaw. He drops the throw. He is being rushed. He fires. It is intercepted, I believe, by the Dolphins at the 10-yard line after being deflected in the air.
Yeah.
Let's
Miami
see who
ball.
got it. Getting up with a football looks like
Tim Foley, Rick.
Tim Foley. The ball at the Dolphins 10. The pass was knocked away. Looked like it was deflected away by Dick Anderson, and the hot potato was grabbed by Foley. Henry, perhaps you can confirm that for us. And the ball is at the 10-yard line as the gun runs out. And that's the end of a wild first half with the score. Our Dolphins 16, Buffalo 13. And we'll see what adjustments both teams have made as we get into the second half. Leipold gets the referee's whistle. He is about ready to put the toe into it. And this second half is about ready to get underway. Here he comes forward. He hits it over the blocking wall. It bounces at the 7, rolls to the right. Morris juggles it around. It goes into the end zone. And there's a Dolphin down on the field on the specialty teams, getting up very slowly, helped up by his teammates. It's like Malty Moore, number 65. And he appears to be okay. We'll have Henry check on that for you.
Looks like a little groggy, Rick.
All right, the Dolphins have the football starting now from our 20-yard line. Warfield switch to the near side, fully to the far side. Kick and Zonka out of split backs behind Morrow. Dolphins moving from our right to our left toward the west end of the field. Here's the handoff. Kick, draw play, hole in the middle. He's across the 25. Has hit, drags the tackle with him to the 28-yard line. Jim Kick, a good hole over that right side. Langer and Larry Little blocking out in front. 8-yard pickup. Jerry Patton makes the tackle on the play for Buffalo. Henry?
Baltimore had his bell rung. They're working on him now.
Okay, second down and 2. Dolphins ball at our 28-yard line. We've just started this second half. The Dolphins lead by a score of 16-13. Miami breaks out of the huddle. Howard Twilley sets in tight off the right side. Warfield has put a couple yards to the near side. Kick and Zonka, the split backs behind Morrow. Second and 2. The handoff to Zonka to the left side. He's got the first down across the 30 out to about the 32-yard line. Goes Larry Zonka. Mike Stratton, playing at the right side linebacker, makes the tackle, an 11-year veteran from Tennessee. First down for the Dolphins. They're 8th of the ball game. And the ball is at the 32 in Miami territory. Mercury Morris comes in. And Jim Kick goes out. Merck has, if he has as good a second half as he did in the first half, has a real good shot at the 100-yard game today. Dolphins first down at our 32-yard line. They set in the eye with a wingman to the right side. Dolphins from the 32-yard line. Morrow hands off. Quick trap in the middle. It goes to Zonka. He booms across the 35 and gets out to about the 37-yard line. Zonka tackled by Jerry Patton. He's played a fine defensive ball game for the Bills this afternoon. A big rookie from Nebraska. The ball is at the the Dolphins 37-yard line. It'll be a second down and 5. Miami, thus far in this second half, keeping the ball on the ground, getting good operating position. Out of the huddle they come. Pulley sets as a wingman to the right side. They set in a tight formation, and now Morris sets as a wingman left. A double wing with, now Morris moves back, has a split back with Morrow, with Zonka rather. Here's the pitch to Zonk. Straight to the right, cuts back to his left, 40, 45, and he's knocked off his feet at the Dolphins' 45-yard line behind Larry Little.
Rick, it looks like Monty Clark and the rest of the coaches really did their job at halftime. The offensive line there doesn't look like there's any confusion whatsoever on which man to take on this six-man line we've been talking about with these linebackers dropping in.
All right, first down for Miami. The ball at the Dolphins' 45-yard line. They started this drive from their 20-yard line following the opening kickoff of the second half. Fully, a couple of yards split off the right side. Warfield wide to the near side. Morris and Zonka, the split backs behind Morrow. First down, Dolphins from our 45-yard line. Here's the handoff to Merck. Starts inside, cuts to the outside. He's at the 50 and is dragged down from behind into Buffalo territory at the 48-yard line. He hit into the middle and then slid along the line of scrimmage laterally to the near side and turned the left side in. Picked up about 7 yards. Maurice Tyler, the strong safety, number 42, a rookie from Morgan State, makes the stop. Henry?
Mercury got up awfully slowly, and he's coming out of the game. He was a little bit groggy, it looked like. We'll check it out.
He's coming off under his own power. It's a second down and 3. Dolphins at the Bills' 48.
I thought surely there'd be a call on that one because Mercury was actually tackled by the mask. The defender grabbed his mask, pulled him down.
Jim Kick, Larry Zonka, the split backs. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. In the backfield behind Morrow, Tully splits right. Here's the handoff. Kick, second man through the hole, and he gets to about the 47. Just about a gain of a yard as the blocking jammed up. Ken Lee middle linebacker, is the fellow who jammed it up. And they're going to put it down at about the 47-yard line. So it'll be a third down coming up, and a little bit more than 2 yards to go for first down. Morris has carried 7 times unofficially for 82 yards. Zonka 7 for 38. Swilly is out, and the second tight end, Jim Mandich, is in. Big play here for the Dolphins in this drive. Miami leads 16-13. Third down at about 2.5 from the Bills' 47-yard line. They set in the tight formation with Warfield, a wingman right. On the snap, the handoff goes to Zonka. He puts his head down and rams his way to the 45. And I don't think that's going to be enough for a first down. He's about a half yard shy. Let's see. As they unpile, the officials call a timeout. There is a flag thrown just now against Buffalo for something, and this will give them the first down. A unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Buffalo. Somebody said something to the official on that call. He had not displayed, at least from my vantage point, that he had signified a first down, and that's what everybody was booing about. He called a timeout, and then suddenly the yellow flag dropped, and Buffalo gets penalized 15 yards on sportsmanlike conduct. The Dolphins get a first down at the Buffalo 30-yard line. 10 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. Miami leading 16-13. Morrow with a sustained drive going. Listen to the booing. The fans. We went through this in the Buffalo game at Miami 2 weeks ago. All right, Morrow up under center. Waiting for the snap. Morris is back in there at a running back. Long count at the line of scrimmage by Earl. Here's the handoff going to Zonka. Sweep to the left. 25. Down to the 20. He drags the tackler with him to the 15-yard line. And they're going to say he was officially down at the 16. That'll be a first down. Larry Zonka picking up 14 yards. The tackle made by cornerback Leon Garrar, number 47. First down for the Dolphins at the Bills' 16-yard line. 14 yards on the pickup for Zonka.
And this is exactly where Earl likes to go for that touchdown, Rick, on that first down out there about that 20-yard line. Loves to throw that ball in there, get that score on the first.
All right, first down, Miami at the Bills' 16. Fully out of the huddle, splits right. Warfield to the near side. The fans still set up the Buffalo Raspberry. Morris and Zonka, the split backs, and behind Morrow. First down from the Bills' 16-yard line. Waiting for the snap from center. Morrow hands to Morris. Into the middle he goes. He's down to the 10, cuts to his left. He's at the 5, dragging a tackler with him, and he's filled at the 4-yard line. Mercury Morris, a Tasmanian devil, a whirling dervish through the middle this afternoon as he picks up another first down to about the Buffalo 4-yard line. Leon Garrar, the cornerback, had him by one arm, but Mercury was taking him right with him. And so the Dolphins pick up a first and goal down at the Buffalo 4.
Rick, they're bringing in a much bigger cornerback, a number 48, player by the name of Pitts, to replace Tony Green. He weighs about 215 in contrast to that 170 that Green weighs. Give him a little more weight out there in that corner spot.
All right, the Dolphins have the 2 tight ends in now, and Morris and Zonka are the running backs. They're right in behind the left pole to our left. First and goal from the Buffalo 4-yard line. Here's the handoff to Larry. He is hit behind the line of scrimmage and loses a couple of yards. A fine play by the man that Luke Rickmer just mentioned, John Pitts.
He's the one, Rick. He just came in there and threw all of his weight in there, try to block down all the interference coming out, and he got Zonk on it.
The ball is placed down back at the Buffalo 7-yard line, from where it'll be a second down and goal. The Dolphins need a touchdown here. We've been down close here a couple of times before earlier in the ball game and have had to settle for field goals. This Buffalo defense has been tough, and the fans set up the defense camp. All right, out of the huddle they come. Morris and Zonka, the splitbacks. In behind Morrow from the 7-yard line on second down. Here's the fake handoff. Earl rolls for his right. He throws. It is caught for a touchdown.
Mar Fleming.
Mar Fleming is the man who caught it right in behind the post, and we had to wait for a moment until we could certify as to who the receiver was. Mar Fleming gets his first touchdown of the season as Morrow, sprinting out to his right, hits Marvin with a strike in the end zone, and so the Dolphins now move to a 22-13 lead, and Garo Yepremian will try the point from placement. I am sure glad they're moving into a great new stadium here. Earl Morrow will hold. These posts have been a fit this afternoon as far as I'm concerned. Here's the kick. It's up, and it is perfect. Dolphin football action continues as Morrow used up about 7 minutes on that drive. 8:19 left to go in this third quarter. Dolphin football action continues from Buffalo, New York. With the score, our Dolphins 23 and Buffalo 13. Rick Weaver, Lou Quickmer, and Henry Barrow back at Buffalo. Henry?
What happened to Burke on that face mask tackle when we said he was a little groggy? He got a finger in the eye, but he's okay.
Okay, Premium preparing to kick off following that 80-yard drive, 11 plays, in which Fleming caught a 7-yard touchdown pass. Here's a high, short kickoff. It's grabbed by Cole at the 15 to the 20, across the 30, out to the 40-yard line. Runs Lindsey Cole. Garrow hit that one a little bit low, got it up high and not too deep against a strong wind, which is sprung up here. Jesse Powell again makes the tackle on the play. That Miami drive, 80 yards, 11 plays. That 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Morrill hit the 7-yard touchdown pass to Marv Fleming. 25-yard return that time for Lindsey Cole. Out of the huddle, out come the Bills with good field position from their 40-yard line. Harrison split left, Chandler and Hill to the near side. Here is the handoff going to O.J. Simpson off the left side, gets out to the 45-yard line. Orenthal James Simpson, who makes his home now in Los Angeles, but who comes from San Francisco, and who last week ran for 189 yards, one scamper of 94 yards for a touchdown. A second down and 5 coming up for Buffalo from their 45. First down, Miami 13, Buffalo 8. Morrill is 3 for 11, 1 interception, 1 TD. Shaw 8 for 14, 1 interception, 1 touchdown pass. Here comes Chandler in motion off to the near side as Braxton and Simpson are the running backs. Here's the slant-out pass caught by J.D. Hill at the 50. He's into Dolphin territory across the 45, knocked down at Miami's 44-yard line by Tim Foley and Dick Anderson. That's the first down for the Bills. It's a little hook pattern that Shaw has gone to on numerous occasions this afternoon, to his man out of the backfield and also to his wide receivers. An 11-yard completion from Shaw to J.D. Hill. First down, Buffalo at the Miami 44-yard line. They split off Harrison and Chandler to the far side. To the near side is J.D. Hill, Braxton and Simpson in behind Dennis Shaw. The ball at the Dolphins 44. Handoff to Braxton. He hits straight over the left side, gets to the 40-yard line. He's a big bruiser at 6'2", 235, just about Zonka's size, a second-year man from West Virginia. Jim Braxton, the ball carrier, gets 4. Manny Fernandez on the stop at the Dolphin 40. It'll be a second down and 6. We have 6 minutes, 23 seconds to go. In this third quarter, Dolphins leading 23-13. Let's see if we have any later scores. Detroit leads Chicago 14-0 in the second quarter. All right, Harrison and Chandler, double wide receivers left. Hill to the near side. Shaw drops the throw, being pursued from behind, and he throws the ball away. He is hit and dropped by Matheson and Denherter, and somebody's going to get called for pulling on Shaw's face mask. Just he got the pass away. They were blindsiding him that time, and the Dolphins are going to be penalized.
Looks like it's Denherter, Rick. He's the one having all the conversation.
He reached up there and suddenly found the face mask. And this will give the Bills a first down. This is more than a face mask. Puts the ball down at the 25-yard line in Miami territory. A personal foul is the call. And they call roughing the passer. The face mask could have been involved, but that's only a 5-yard penalty. It's a personal foul, roughing the passer on the Dolphins, and the Bills have a first down at the Miami 25-yard line. Harrison and Chandler split left. Hill to the near side. Braxton and Simpson in the eye behind Shaw. The handoff goes to O.J. Hits the middle, and he is creamed. He is smothered.
And right in there, Rick, the man right on top that led that tackle was Denherter. He is a little upset.
Ball at the 23, give him a gain of 2. It'll be second down and 8. Henry?
I know that you were blocked from that handoff, Rick, because of the way the players are lined up, but Shaw juggled the handoff and threw Simpson's timing off. He barely got it into his hands on that play.
All right, it's second down and 8 as Lloyd Mumford has come in the Dolphins' defensive secondary. The ball at the Miami 23-yard line. Wide receivers are split to both sides. Back to throw, goes Shaw. He's caught by one leg, gets away. The pass is deflected in the air, knocked down at the line of scrimmage by the Dolphin pass rush, and they were coming. Stanfield had him around the leg, and Denherter is the fellow who deflected the ball as he was looking downfield, and Byrne got those hands up and just knocked it away for the incompletion. Now he puts the ball back down at the 25-yard line. Now he picks it up and puts it back down at the 23. Randy Jackson comes into the offensive backfield replacing Braxton for Buffalo. It'll be a third down and 8. Bills ball at the Miami 23. Simpson so far unofficially 10 carries for 40 yards. Harrison, Chandler split left. Hill to the near side. Simpson and Jackson, the split backs. Here's the handoff to Jackson over the right side. He's not going to get very far. Gets to about the 21, and that's all. So here comes the field goal unit. Doug Swift really knifed underneath and hit him. They put the ball down at about the 21-yard line. So we're going to get a field goal attempt at some 28 yards by Leipold, who missed one earlier. And holder will be Bob Chandler.
And that was a beautiful tackle by Doug Swift, Rick. That's the way all coaches coach you to make that tackle. He had that shoulder right there at the belt buckle.
Chandler will hold from the 28-yard line, going toward the east end zone to our right. From the near side inbound, hash mark, Leipold. Snap, set down, the kick is up. He's got the distance, and this time it's good. This time it's perfect. With 4 minutes and 36 seconds left to go in the third quarter, Dolphin football action continues from Buffalo, New York, with the score. Our Dolphins 23 and Buffalo 16. This is Rick Weaver with Lou Creekmer and Henry Barrow. Back at Buffalo, New York. That drive, 60 yards, 6 plays, and a 28-yard field goal by Leipold. And again, Buffalo has scored just about as many points on the Dolphins in this ball game as anybody. Over the 2 ball games when we played these guys, they have been able to put points on the board. Shaw has thrown for 97 yards, Morrow for 51 unofficially. Leipold ready to kick off. Lee and Morris are the deep men. With 4:36 to go in the third quarter, it's a 23-16 ball game. He gets it high and deep. This will be out of the end zone. There'll be no run back. Touchback, and the Dolphins will start from our 20-yard line, moving from our right to our left toward the west end of the field. Miami with just a touchdown lead now, as the score stands at 23-16. In unofficial team rushing yardage, Buffalo has rushed for 64, Miami 168 yards. All right, the Dolphins go to work. Warfield splits to the near side, Twilley to the far side. Chick and Zonka set in the eye, right behind the pole down here. Dolphins from our 20-yard line. Here's the handoff, and there might have been a fumble. Underneath, as somebody slipped going in, it was kicked. Jerry Patton made the stop.
Rick, he slipped, and really this is something I don't think that the officials ever thought about, but that middle part of the field, as they move the hash marks in, looks like it's nothing but just a quagmire out there where they really concentrate in that area.
All right, the Dolphins have the ball at our 17, a loss of 3 on the play. He stumbled going into the line and juggled the ball around. Kick and Zonka the split backs now. In behind Morrow, a 2nd and 13. Dolphins from our 17-yard line. Morrow on the snap. Hands off. Zonka to the left side. Gets to the 20, 25. Up to the other sideline across the 30. And he's got a first down up to the 32-yard line. Larry Zonka with an excellent run. Paul Warfield threw a great block to get that corner turn. Let's pause here for station identification on the Miami Dolphins Football Network.
Join the winning team. William Lehman has sold more Buicks than any other dealer in the South. William Lehman Buick, 163rd Street and Biscayne Boulevard in North Miami Beach.
WIOD Miami.
Rick Weaver back at War Memorial Stadium in Buffalo. Zonka 15 yards. Miami first down at our 32. Twilley split right. Warfield to the near side. Here's the handoff. Zonka wedges into the middle and gets to the 35-yard line. Larry Zonka with a 3-yard pickup. And that first drive of this third quarter, Morrow consumed close to 7 minutes on the clock. And the ball control drive, that 80-yard drive in 11 plays in which he hit Morrow with a 7-yard, hit Fleming with a 7-yard touchdown pass. Kick goes out and Mercury Morris comes in. The Dolphins offensive backfield. It'll be a 2nd down and 7. Miami's ball at our 35. Dolphins leading by a touchdown, 23-16. With 2:37 left to play in the third quarter. Twilley splits far side. Warfield on the near side. Morris and Zonka split backs in behind Morrow. Here's the handoff to Merck. Sweep to the right. He gets the corner turn. Up the sideline to the 40. He is still going across the 45 and is knocked to the ground at about the 47-yard line. Mercury Morris with good blocking out in front. Over there is Maurice Tyler, the strong safety, is the man who dragged him down, and he picks up another Miami first down out to the Dolphins' 47-yard line. And Merck is getting close to the 100-yard mark. Henry?
And Tyler and Morris having quite a few words after the ball was down.
12 yards on the pickup. Unofficially, we now have Mercury Morris with 105 yards, which makes the second time that in 2 years, that he has rushed for over 100 yards against this Buffalo team. He did it at the Orange Bowl last year with 116. Dolphins first down from our 47-yard line. Morris and Zonka split behind Morrow. On the snap, here's the handoff to Larry over the right side and gets about a yard to the 48. Started to cut back to his left, and he was dragged down. Tackle on the play by Paul Goodry, the left linebacker, along with Mike Stratton from the other side. It'll be a second down and 9. For the Dolphins, the ball at our 48. Earl Morrill in the ball control now. With a minute and 19 seconds left to play in this third quarter. The Dolphins had just a 3-point lead at halftime. Took the opening kickoff, marched at 80 yards for a touchdown. And the Bills coming back had to settle for a 28-yard field goal by Lipo. Second down and 9. Miami from our 48-yard line. Morrow on the snap, drops to throw. He's set. Now he's going to run with the football. He's at the 50 and into Bills territory at the 48-yard line. And he lost the ball, but the officials apparently had blown the whistle and whistled the play dead. And the Bills thought they'd come up with a fumble.
Rick, he was going for his favorite receiver, Howard Twilley, out there, but that defensive secondary felt that he would. And they really had Howard covered.
Walt Patulski and Mike Stratton on that last tackle. Morris is out. Kick is in the Miami offensive backfield as the Dolphins retain possession of the ball. It's placed down at the Buffalo 49-yard line with a third down and 5. The fans setting up the howl now for the defense to hold him on this drive. Fully splits right. Warfield comes to the near side. Zonka and Kick, the split backs. In behind Morrow. Third down and 5. Miami from the Buffalo 49-yard line. Here's Morrow. Here's the end around. And Warfield is caught for a tremendous block way back at about the Miami 41-yard line. Mike Stratton, what a fantastic defensive play. The flanker back around. That's the end of the third quarter, and Warfield was just driven completely out of the play as he handled the football, trying to circle a far side end. Stratton diagnosed it perfectly, and the Dolphins will have to punt now as the third quarter ends. That's the end of the third period. Dolphin football action will continue for Buffalo with a score, Miami 23, Buffalo 16.
Rick, we all look at those statistics, and when you only throw the ball 15, 16 times during the course of a ball game, that means that you can rush those linebackers, just like Stratton came in on that last play and really be effective.
Line of scrimmage, the Dolphins 41. Seipel standing back at the 27. He kicked one earlier of 29 yards. We'll see what kind of a punt he gets out of here this time. He booms a beauty. A long spiral. Back Cole up. He grabs it back at the 5. Looks for a hole. Gets to the 10. Takes the tackle at the 15. He is cracked at the 17-yard line, the 18. Good return, but boy, was he living dangerously as the punt coverage team was down there, and just a great kick that time by Larry Seipel of 51 yards. So the Bills, starting this fourth quarter, trailing by a touchdown, will have the football at their 18-yard line with a 1st and 10. That drive out of the huddle they come. Chandler and Hill split off the far side. Harrison to the near side. From the 18, here is the handoff. Going to O.J. over the right side, and he doesn't get very far. The Dolphins have stopped him this afternoon and have kind of keyed on him. He gets out to about the 19, a gain of a yard. It'll be second down and 9. The whole left side was into Smirham. Hines is out, and Bob Matheson comes in on the prevent defense. 23-16. We're in the final period. Dolphins leading this battling Buffalo team. They are tied for third with New England coming into today's game with a 2-5 record, but they really get up. Everybody does now for the Dolphins, the only unbeaten team left in the NFL. A 2nd and 9. Chandler goes in motion off to the far side. Bills ball from their 19-yard line. Here's the handoff to O.J. on a straight dive over the right side, and he gets just about 3 yards out to the 22 as they can't shake him. Doug Swift, the strong side linebacker, makes the tackle for Miami. They put it down at the Buffalo 22-yard line, from where it'll be a third down and approximately 6 yards to go. Clock moving with 13:23 left to play. Miami leading by a score of 23-16. Airtime next week from the Orange Bowl on WIOD and these network stations at 12:50. They break out of the huddle. Braxton and Simpson are the split backs. Chandler and Harrison split left, and Hill to the far side. On 3rd and 6, Shaw with a third down conversion. He drops back to throw, being rushed. Sprints out to his right, fires. It is caught. Fumble. Is it a loose ball or an incomplete pass? They rule it incomplete. J.D. Hill was the man who caught the football, and he was really rappy-cacked. from behind and lost the ball, and they rule it an incomplete forward pass, so that brings up a punting situation. The line of scrimmage will be the Buffalo 22, and Spike Jones, who has not had the best luck in the world in kicking today because of bad snaps, kicked 3 times in that first half for 24 yards, one a 6-yarder. Charlie Lee is the deep man, and Dick Anderson the shallow man. And Jones will stand back at about the 7th. There's no wind at all now. Waiting for the snap. Here it is. Gets a pretty good rush. Gets it out of there. Holds it up for a long time. Charlie Lee runs up on it, does not touch it, and it is down by the Buffalo team. And picking it up is Maurice Tyler running it into the end zone. He thought that Charlie Lee had touched the ball, but that is not the case. Charlie made a move upward at the football, but he did not touch it. And Tyler of the Bills picked up the ball and ran it into the end zone, but it's blown dead as being down by Buffalo back at the Dolphins' 38-yard line. Henry?
All during that defensive series, Larry Little has been worked on. He suffered some bruised ribs on the right side, but I believe he's back in there right now.
Okay, there's a timeout on the field. Dolphin football action continues from Buffalo with the score. Our Dolphins 23, the Bills 16. This is Rick Weaver back at Buffalo. The Dolphins put the ball in play following that 40-yard punt by Spike Jones at our 38-yard line. With 12:46 to play, the Dolphins with a 7-point lead. Kicking Zonka in the eye behind Earl Morrow. Here is the fake handoff to the man in the middle. Zonka pitched his kick, sweeps the left side, 40-45, and knocked out of bounds at the midfield stripe on the far side of the field. Morrow with a fake give to Zonka hitting the middle and pitching out to kick, sweeping the left side, and he gets 12 for a first down. The tackle on the play made by Dave Washington. Through the third quarter, the official cookie stats, Dolphins 15 first downs, Buffalo 10. 45 plays for Miami, 40 for the Bills. Rushing 202 yards for Miami, 64 for the Bills. Passing 43 yards for the Dolphins, 78 for the Bills. Total offense, Miami 245, Buffalo 142. Miami's football, first down at the midfield stripe. On the snap, flags go down. The handoff goes to kick over the right side, and he gets down to about the Buffalo 45 before he is upended, but a couple of flags crossed. Maurice Tyler, the strong safety, gets credit for the tackle. And the penalty will be against Miami. Somebody started too soon. Probably an illegal procedure. The clock is stopped on the penalty with 12 minutes left to play in the football game. Illegal motion against the Dolphins will set the ball back to about the Miami 45. He places it down a little bit farther back than that. So it'll be a first down and 15 for the Dolphins back at our 44.5-yard line.
I think they may have called it on Larry Little, Rick. He came out there to block on Patulski on that one, and boy, he and Patulski really met head on.
The Dolphins back in a huddle, lead by a touchdown, 23-16. The New England Patriots at home next Sunday. Warfield splits left fully to the near side. Chick and Zonka the split backs behind Earl Morrow. Earl up under center, waiting for the snap. Here it is. He hands to Zonka, cross buck left side, and he gets a couple out to about the 47 on a slant, on a counter play over the left side. Zonka carries Don Croft. Defensive tackle gets credit for the stop. And we'll give him about 2 on it. It'll be second down and 13. Mercury Morris has come back in replacing Chick. Mercury, during that third quarter, went over the 100-yard mark. The attendance today, a sellout, 46,206. Miami has been assessed 35 yards on 5 penalties. Second and 13 for the Dolphins from our 47-yard line. Morris and Zonka in the eye. Here's the handoff on the draw play to Zonka through the left side. He's across the 50 and knocked down at the Bills' 49-yard line. Grabbed by Ken Lee, the middle linebacker, from behind. So this brings up a third down and about 8 for Miami as Mandich comes in at tight end, replacing Mar Fleming. And Alvin Wyatt comes in as a defensive back. Lewis Ross, a defensive lineman, number 87 for Buffalo. The ball at the Bills' 49-yard line.
Howard Twilley's been playing games with James out here, Rick, on the right-hand side. Watch this one. He may just have the ball.
It's 3rd and 9. They have to get to the 40 for a first down. Twilley splits near side, Warfield to the far side. Morris and Zonka split behind Morrow. Earl drops to Trell. He fires. Twilley's got it inside the 40, and he's knocked down at the 37. You call that one right on the head, Lou. As Twilley on a slanted over the middle, caught the pass for the Miami first down as Morrow again converts on 3rd down this afternoon. Robert James, the left cornerback, was the man who was beaten on the play, and he made the tackle. Dolphins pick up a first down, a key one, at the Buffalo 37-yard line. Clock moving with 10 minutes, 12 seconds to play. Miami leads by a score of 23-16. And the Dolphins had another bad second quarter. A pass interception by Tony Green. And the Bills trailed by only 3 at halftime. Waiting for the snap. Here's the handoff to Morris. Stutter step inside, tries to get the left corner turn. He's thrown for a loss. He could not get around the right linebacker, Dave Washington. And he's a big guy at 6'5", 230 from Alcorn A&M, a 3-year man. And so Mercury loses yardage back to the 42. A loss of about 5. It'll be second down and 15. Our Miami fans are invited to stay tuned for our scoreboard show, which immediately follows our play-by-play this afternoon. And the last report we had, the Redskins were leading the Jets 21-10 at halftime. That's the big one. The other big one in this AFC East, the Dolphins have a 2-game lead over New York going into this play today. From the Bills' 42-yard line, Morrow drops back to throw. He's firing deep for Warfield. He is down there. He can't hold it in a fine defensive play back there by little Tony Green, the right cornerback. He was sticking to Warfield like glue, and that ball was right on target, and Green reached up the last moment and just knocked it away.
And Rick, really, Warfield did a great job on that play from stopping Green from intercepting it. He could have caught it very easily if Paul hadn't deflected out of his hands.
Jim Kick comes in. Morris goes out. It'll be a 3rd and 15 Dolphins ball at the Bills' 42-yard line with 9 minutes and 6 seconds to go in this ball game. Dolphins leading 23-16. Cleveland leads Houston 6-0 third quarter. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati 26-17. Pittsburgh in the third quarter. All right, big play here. 3rd and 15. Dolphins from the Bills' 42-yard line. Morrow resets Zonka. Now he drops the throw. Being rushed. Safety blitz. He's thrown for a loss. Back at the 50-yard line, loses the football, but it had been blown dead at the 50-yard line. As Maurice Tyler, the strong safety, was blitzing on the play, and he tosses Morrow for an 8-yard loss. Back to the midfield stripe. The officials blew the ball dead, as they should, when the man who had it, Morrow, hit the ground. The ball was loose, and Buffalo tried to run it in, but the play had been blown dead. So it's a 4th down. And Larry Seipel is in the punt. 9 minutes, 1 second to go. Lindsey Cole is back as the deep man. Giants lead Denver third quarter, 19-7. Line of scrimmage, 50. Seipel stands at 35. Lindsey Cole deep for Buffalo at the 10. Here's the snap. He gets it out of there, hangs it up high. Nice kick. Cole calls for a fair catch, lets it bounce. Inside the 10, it's going to roll out of bounds at about the 9 or the 8-yard line in Buffalo territory. Good kick that time by Larry Seipel when the Dolphins needed it. He had one earlier that really did not give the Bills operating position. There's a timeout on the field. Dolphin football action continues in 1 minute. The score, our Dolphins 23, Buffalo 16. Rick Weaver back at Buffalo. 41-yard punt by Seipel. The Bills start from their 9-yard line. Here comes Chandler in motion to the near side. Shaw drops back to throw. He sets. He loops the ball down the near sideline. It is knocked away, incomplete, and almost intercepted. It was intended for Bob Chandler. And that, again, believe it or not, was right in front of this hokied up pole down here.
Curtis Johnson knocked it down, Rick. Did a darn good job on getting it away.
Second down and 10 for the Bills from their 9-yard line. Curtis Johnson deflected the pass. Seipel, 3 punts for a 40-yard average, and he has picked a couple of beauties here in this second half. We've got 8:34 to play. Dolphins lead 23-16. Out of the huddle they come. They split off Hill to the far side. Harrison and Chandler, double wide receivers to the near side. Now Chandler moves in motion to the far side. Back to throw goes Shaw. He's looking into the middle and hooks the pass. It's complete across the 20-yard line to Hill. He's up to the 25 to the 27. That's a Buffalo first down. Lloyd Mumford over there. And Nick Bonacani on the stop for Miami, but not before Buffalo picks up a first down on a slant over to J.D. Hill, out to the Buffalo 27. 16 yards on the pass completion from Shaw to Hill. 8 minutes left to go in this ball game. Dolphins with a touchdown lead. Hill splits right. Chandler slot man right. Harrison splits left. Braxton and Simpson split back. In motion, Chandler to the near side. Here's the handoff, draw play. O.J. tries to hit the middle, and he gets about a yard to the 28, and that's all. Mike Cullen, Captain Punch, from the weak side linebacker spot, threw his 220 pounds in there, made the stop on the play. The Dolphins, thus far, have been able to contain Simpson. The ball is at the Buffalo 28. And here comes that fifth defensive back in as Monicani goes out. The ball at the Buffalo 28. Second down and 9. The Dolphins lead by a touchdown. Hill splits right, Chandler slot man right, Harrison slot man or wide receiver left. Now here comes Chandler in motion. Off to the near side. Shaw drops the throw. Has time, firing deep. It is knocked away and picked off by Jake Scott. Dolphin 45 to 50, and he's thrown to the ground at the Buffalo 47. Curtis Johnson broke that play up. It was intended for Dwight Harrison down the near sideline, and getting double coverage that time was Harrison. Curtis Johnson, his right corner, knocked the ball away, and Jake Scott grabbed the deflection back at the Dolphin 45 and runs it to the Buffalo 48-yard line, and that's where the Dolphins will put the ball in play. As there's a timeout on the field, Dolphin football action will continue in 1 minute to score. Miami 23, Buffalo 16. This is Rick Weaver with Lou Quickmer and Henry Barrow back at Buffalo's War Memorial Stadium. Jake Scott has just picked off his fourth pass interception of the season, his second of the ball game for the Dolphins. What keyed that, though, was the deflection by cornerback Curtis Johnson. Miami has excellent field position at the Buffalo 48.
Rick, that's one of those big advantages of that zone defense. Zone defense allows that safety man back there to react to the ball. They cover their area, and as soon as they see that quarterback throw that ball, they react to the ball, to the receiver. And Jake was just, greatest guy in the league for reacting to that ball, right there waiting for it.
All right, Morrow brings the ball club out. We have 7 minutes, 5 seconds to go. The Dolphins need a score here, leading by just 7, 23 to 16. Kick and Zonka in the eye. Behind Morrow from the Buffalo 48-yard line. Here's the pitch going to kick. Sweep to the left side. He turns the corner down to the 40. He's at the 35. Puts his head down and rams his way to the 30-yard line. Jim Kick with a great effort and some excellent blocking in front. Norm Evans was over there.
Rick, what beautiful block. And he had both Kuchenberg out in front of him, and Evans came all the way over here from this right-hand side, all the way across the field. Made some beautiful blocks out there.
They put it down at the Buffalo 32, so he picks up about 16 yards on the carry. First down for Kick. Dolphins first down up the Buffalo 32-yard line. Dolphins with a 23 to 16 lead. You have never, at least I have never, felt safe in this ball game. Here's Warfield split to the far side, fully to the near side. Kick and Zonka split behind Morrow from the Bills' 32-yard line. Long count by Earl at the line of scrimmage. Spins, hands to Kick, starts inside, and belts his way over right guard inside the 30 down to the 29. Maurice Tyler, the strong safety, makes the tackle on the play. The Dolphins will return to Miami International tonight at about 7:40, and here comes Mercury Morris into the ball game. Complete wrap-up of scores, as many of them as we have, on our scoreboard show for our Miami listeners on WIOD after our play-by-play. And airtime next week from the Orange Bowl for New England will be at 12:50. Bring those transistors and bring those white handkerchiefs. Willie and Warfield both go wide to the far side. Warfield flat. Ball at the Bills 29 on second down, and we'll call it 7. Here's the fake handoff. Play action. Morrow dropping the throw. He is firing. It is caught by Morris. And he's inside the 5-yard line and just was prevented from getting into the end zone by a fine defensive play on the part of the Bills linebackers, and Robert James, the cornerback. Mercury Morris out of the backfield caught that ball, and what a tremendous play he made on it. Having to reach back while going full tilt, flying through the air, and they put it down at the Buffalo 3-yard line, and he just about got in for the score, 26 yards on the pass completion.
And Rick, we've got to say something about Warfield. Warfield's the man that actually made that play go. He cleaned out all of that secondary, letting Morris come out clear out of that backfield.
We have a fan running loose on the field with a football, and now the game is being held up. There he's on the far side. He's coming over to you, Henry. Can you pick him up?
I got him. He just climbed over the fence. Now he's back onto the field. First time I've had.
Here's the handoff going to Zonka as they went back into action. Zonka is tossed at the 5. He lost a couple of yards. Morris comes back in after a slight respite. The tackle on the play made by little Tony Green, 165 pounds as opposed to Zonka's 237. Kick is out. Morris is in the offensive backfield. They put it down at the Buffalo 4. A loss of a yard. It'll be second down and goal from the 4-yard line. What a tremendous play Morris made on that pass reception from Morrow. Henry? The police got the young fellow that had the ball on the field. They line up in the I. They got the two tight ends in. Morris and Zonka, the running backs from the Buffalo 4. Here's the fake to Zonka. Pitch to Morris. Sweeps right. He is down to the goal line. Did he get in? He did. Touchdown, Miami. Mercury Morris says he was hit right at the goal line. Any part of that ball gets into the end zone. And Morris scores his second touchdown. And Robert James, who made the tackle, is laid out on the field.
Murphy's limping going off the field, Rick.
That for Morris is his second touchdown of the ball game. Scored one earlier from 22 yards out. And gives him now a total of 6 on the season. And James appears to be considerably shaken on the play in his neck area and the collar area. Mercury sweeps to the right, just cut back to the left as Morrow did a good piece of faking to Zonka inside and pitched. And Morris gets his second touchdown, and the Dolphins now with 3 minutes and 55 seconds left to go as they're bringing the stretcher out. Now have moved to a 29-16 lead, and we still have not had the try for points. Buffalo now has picked up 118 yards through the air to Miami's 63. The Dolphins have really grounded out on the ground, 235 yards to Buffalo's 69. So we're waiting for the injured player, Robert James, to be placed on the stretcher. And he will be removed, and John Pitt, number 48, goes in to replace him. He's a 6-year man at 6'4", 215 from Arizona State, waiting for Garrow's try for point. Monday night for our Dolphin fans, since we will not have an open phone show on Tuesday because of the election results on WIOD, we will present not only our Dial a Dolphin segment, at which strong safety Dick Anderson will be our regularly scheduled guest, but also we will present our Dolphin Specialty Team Award. And thus far, I haven't been able to decide who it is.
No, I haven't either yet, Rick. I'll tell you, I'm not surprised that James was shaken up on that play. As he came in to try to get to tackle Mars, Larry Little ran over top of him, then he did come in on the tackle, so he really met a lot of force coming at him.
29-16 as Morris scores from 4 yards out. His second touchdown. James has now been removed from the field. Pitts replaces him, and we're lining up for the try for point. Down here at the east end of the field, Garrow will try it, and Morrow will hold. Garrow has 3 field goals this afternoon. Waiting for the snap. Here it is, set down, the kick is up, and it's good. The official was standing behind the pole. 3 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in this ball game, and the Dolphins lead by a score of 30-16. And unless Buffalo, of course, there's a lot of time left. Unless they can pull something off here, the Dolphins will have won their 9th consecutive ball game, a new club record, including the final regular season win over Green Bay last year, their 8th straight this year, equaling their in-season longevity winning streak of 8 last year, and will have given Don Shula his 99th career win. We have some people now starting to leave the ball game.
Rick, surprisingly, we haven't seen any of this unbalanced line that we talked about here before the ball game. They played it last week against Pittsburgh, but they haven't lined up in it one time all day long. Maybe it was just something to make coaches work overtime all week last week.
Maybe it was, they figured it would have been more effective against Pittsburgh, too. Here's Garrow's kickoff with Wyatt and Cole deep. We grab by Wyatt at the 2, starts out at the 5, the 10, the 15, to the 20, breaks for the near side, and is smacked to the ground across the 25 at the 27-yard line. Dolphins covering on the kick. Tim Foley made the tackle, a 25-yard return. Let's pause for station identification on the Miami Dolphins Football Network.
You're always a winner when you get your guaranteed used cars at William Lehman Used Cars, 167th Street in North Miami Beach.
WIOD Miami.
Okay. Rick Weaver back at Buffalo as Shaw brings his ball club out. First down, Buffalo from their 27-yard line. Dolphins now with a 14-point lead. Here's Chandler in motion off to the right side. On the Bills, 27. Shaw back to throw. He's firing for the far side. It is caught. And O.J. Simpson, the receiver, is run out of bounds at the 35-yard line, which is about 3 yards shy of what they needed for a first down. So it'll be a second down and 3 coming up. Dolphins 30, Buffalo 16. Shaw has O.J. Simpson, who has been contained marvelously by the Dolphins' rushing defense. Coming into today's ball game, the Dolphins were number 2 in total defense in the AFC, number 2 against the pass, and number 4 against the rush. Harrison, Chandler split left. Here's the handoff, and banging over the right side goes Jim Braxton, the fullback, and looks like he might have enough for a first down out to about the 39-yard line. Tackle made by Swift and Fernandez. Manny has been a real bulwark up there on that front line, as Denherter has, Stanfield. They've been moving Hines and Matheson interchangeably on the 53 variations. Hill splits right, Chandler flat man right, Harrison to the near side. First down Buffalo from the Bills 39. Chandler in motion off the near side. Shaw dropping back to throw, gets the rush. Swings the slant out to Simpson, can't hold it. Incomplete at the 44-yard line. Got a pretty good rush as his pass protection began to break down at the last minute and threw the ball a little bit high. Clock stops with the incompletion. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. And Randy Jackson, the rookie who scored one of Buffalo's 2 touchdowns on a 14-yard pass from Shaw, comes in to replace Braxton, one of the running backs. 2nd and 10, Bills ball at their 39. Now Chandler comes in motion off to the near side with 2:40 left to go in the ball game. Shaw drops to throw. He is going to be caught, breaks out of the pocket, caught again, and caught again for the 3rd time, and finally down back at the Buffalo 30-yard line. Vern Denherter, who has had 3 sacks of the quarterback today now. Unofficially, he was hit a couple of times by the Dolphins pass rush. Stanfield, Fernandez also in there. Slowed him up, and Denherter finally brought him down for a big loss back to the 30-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 19.
We really got to give an assist to Matheson on that one. He's the one that really caused the quarterback not to get the ball off.
Henry?
We haven't had a chance to get it in, but Merkley's okay. He just banged up that tender ankle of his.
All right, out of the huddle, the Bills, 3rd and long yardage, 19 to go. Bills from their 30. Hill splits right. Chandler in motion to the right side. Harrison, wide receiver left. Here is Shaw, quick in the middle. It is caught, but not for nearly enough yardage for the first down up to the 34-yard line by Bob Chandler, and so the punting unit comes on. Dick Anderson made the tackle for Miami on the play, and Spike Jones, who has had his problems this afternoon, will handle the punting chores as Charlie Lee goes back as the deep man. Dick Anderson, the shallow man. We'll be getting the 2-minute warning here in just a moment. As it looks like that's it right now. 2 minutes left to play. Dolphin football action will continue in 1 minute. The score are Dolphins 30 and Buffalo 16. Rick Weaver back at Buffalo, preparing to put the ball in play via the punt. Spike Jones, the line of scrimmage, 34-yard line of Buffalo territory. Charlie Lee back deep. And Jones stands back at the 20-yard line. Here is the snap. He bobbles it around. Now, no rush. He gets it out of there and hangs it up high. Charlie Lee will grab the ball, fair catch it for the Dolphins at their 34-yard line. So with a minute and 53 seconds to go, the Dolphins leading by 14 points, 30-16. The Dolphins will try to hold on to the football and just play keep away from our 34. Shaw has been gotten to unofficially 5 times this afternoon for a total loss of 40 yards. He's 12 for 23, 2 interceptions, and 1 touchdown. And the Dolphins have the ball at our 34-yard line. Paul Warfield stretched to the far side. Let's check that and make it Otto Stowe. Briscoe is in the ball game also. Marlon Briscoe for the first time against his old teammates. The handoff to Zonka. Starts left and is caught at the 33-yard line. Perhaps he got back to the line of scrimmage and perhaps not. But anyway, he didn't gain any yardage. The tackle made by Dave Washington, and Buffalo calls a timeout to stop the clock with a minute and 20 seconds left. And the Dolphins with a 2nd down and 11 from our 33-yard line. When time is in, Miami will have a 2nd down and 11 from our 33. 6 goes out. And let's check the rest of them for you in there. In that Miami huddle, Briscoe and so are the wide receivers. Earl Morrill, the quarterback. Norm Evans at the right tackle position.
I think Hubert Ginn is in there, Rick.
Hubert Ginn has just come in the ball game. That's correct. Hubert Ginn, the 3-year man from Florida A&M, who does such a fine job on the Dolphins specialty team. I'll tell you, this specialty team award today is going to be a tough one to give. Stowe splits left, and Briscoe comes to the near side. Zonka and Hubert Ginn The split-back in behind Earl Morrow. Morrow hands to Hubie, tries to slide through a hole on the left side, gets to the 35-yard line before he is tackled by Don Croft. And Buffalo immediately calls another timeout. The ball is at the 35, a gain of about 2 on the carry. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Buffalo has 1 timeout remaining with 1 minute 14 seconds left to play in this football game. Airtime, remember, next week for the Dolphins-Patriots game on WIOD and these network stations, as the Dolphins will be shooting for their 9th consecutive win on the season, 10 over a 2-season period, and trying to give Don Shula his 100th career coaching victory, which will put him up there with 8 other coaches who down through the years have achieved 100 victories or more, spearheaded by George Halas with 321. It took him 40 years to do it. Curly Lambeau with 230, Paul Brown with 177, Steve Owen with 150, Sid Gilman with 121, Weave Eubank with 119, Hank Stram with 104, and Buddy Parker, Lou, with 102.
Good old Buddy.
Who was Lou's coach with the Detroit Lions. Time is in. 3rd down and 8 for the Dolphins. Ball at their 35. Here is the handoff around the right side. Ginn gets the corner turn. 40, 45, up to the 50-yard line. Runs Hubert Ginn, who can go. He can carry the mail, and he rambles for about 15 yards, and that's good for a 1st down. For the Dolphins, and into the ball game of the offensive backfield comes Charlie Lee, who can also spin him off. Jim Mandich comes in at tight end. Zonka goes out for the first time this afternoon that I can recall. And Larry, unofficially, Chuck, how many yards does he have? 74 yards. Morris went over the 100-yard mark earlier in the afternoon. The Dolphins displaying a balanced attack. So Lee and Ginn are the split-backs. Miami's 1st down at the 50-yard line. Clock moving with 28 seconds, 27 seconds. Earl Morrow has gone all the way quarterback. Handoff to Hubert Ginn. He's knocked down at the Buffalo 48-yard line. Buffalo still has a timeout remaining. The Dolphins have this one wrapped up after a hard struggle. 30-16. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Apparently, they're not going to take advantage of the timeout, and the clock is just going to be allowed to run out. The Dolphins have won their 8th in a row this season, their 9th over 2 years, and Don Shula has been given his 99th career coaching victory. It wasn't easy. The final score, our Dolphins 30, the Buffalo Bills 16, and we'll be back with the final wrap-up after these announcements. Shaw had 11 out of 22, threw 1 touchdown to Randy Jackson, and had 2 intercepted. Morrow threw the ball 14 times, completed 5. He had a touchdown pass to Meyer Fleming, and he had 1 interception run back by Tony Green for that touchdown in the second quarter. Shaw picked up 140 yards through the air, and Morrow 87. The Dolphins stopped the Buffalo ground game, and they really stopped Simpson. O.J. got just 47 yards today, and a total of 72 yards rushing on the ground. These are unofficial statistics now, and the Dolphins pick up 256 on the ground. The leading rushing team in the NFL did it again, with unofficially Mercury Morris winding up with a 100-yard day of 106 yards. Zonka with 74 yards. Kick ran for 44, and Hubert Ginn had 20. The penalties, Buffalo penalized twice for 20 yards, and Miami 5 times for 35 yards. Larry Seipel kicked 3 times for a 40.5-yard average, and he had a couple of great punts near the end of the ball game when the Dolphins needed to keep the Bills back in poor field position. Jones kicked 5 for an average of 32.5 yards. Gary Yepremian had field goals of 33, 17, and 16 yards. Leipold had one of 28 and missed another one. So the final score was 30 to 16. A total unofficially of 100 and, well over 200 yards, almost 250 for these 3 running backs this afternoon. The Dolphins came out with an official total of 254 yards on the ground, and this certainly did nothing to augment their league-leading rushing total for this ball game. The Dolphins' no-name defense distinguished itself again. Vern Denheader had 3 sacks of the passer. Bill Stanfill 1. Pass interceptions are officially accredited to Tim Foley and to Jake Scott. And Doug Swift had a total of 7 tackles. Manny Fernandez had 4. Bob Matheson 4. And Tim Foley had a total of 5. So great ball control by the Dolphins when they needed it. Expert kicking by Garo Yepremian in the field goal department. An awesome rushing attack. And a good job by the Dolphins' no-name defense. And that is the story. And also, I want to commend Larry Seipel. After getting off a poor punt in the first half of some 29 yards, he came back and did an excellent job of keeping the Bills back in their own backyard when they needed good field position. They just couldn't get it. And so the Dolphins emerge victorious by a score of 30-16 and go against the New England Patriots at the Orange Bowl. We're now home in the warm weather for 3 games, 3 successive ball games against New England, against the New York Jets, and against the St. Louis Cardinals on the Monday night game. And then 2 more games on the road with New England. That should be a cold weather one against the New York Giants at Yankee Stadium in the final game against the Baltimore Colts on December the 16th. This is Rick Weaver. The final score again from our ball game. Our Dolphins win number 8 in a row for this season, defeating Buffalo 30-16. And until next Sunday at 12:50, a pleasant good afternoon.